Hello, internet. Ignore the stupid hawker. Hold on.
There are
Can I turn
people.
him off? Shit, I
There are
can't turn
people
him off.
watching us.
Uh,
Uh,
are we alone? Welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode of Decisions and Dragons.
uh-huh.
We are finally all back together to continue this adventure. Super excited about it. Oh, God, that hawker is going to drive me nuts, but it's okay. It's not even a hawker, it's just a shitty bard. Anyway.
Just some
Um,
guy just.
Maybe he's like all the rage where he's from, okay?
Driving me nuts. All right. So, to recap last episode, let me fix my camera here. There we go. When last we left our intrepid adventurers, having set out from Westrin with the plan of infiltrating the Feywild to rescue Faraday's mentor, they encountered a seemingly friendly undead, colloquially, Jesus, I can't say that word.
Again.
Aurora. That was named Bones, along with his pet rat Gus Gus. Realizing that the town way station of Silvercut Crossroads might be under attack, the party brought Bones and Gus Gus with them towards the crossroads and attempt to head off whatever small group of undead would be assaulting the town. Upon arrival, they saw several skeletons, all mobilized and acting far more intelligently than any of the undead that they have faced so far. After dispatching some of them, they saw them reconstitute themselves and had to consistently fight off wave after wave. Until a familiar face, Sorvellin, had opened the doors of the way station with the assistance of Thurston, and had let loose a sunbeam to allow the party enough time to retreat inside the gates, of which they then saw the skeletons reconstitute and slowly walk away. After recovering yourselves, you had spoken with a human woman, seemingly in charge of some means of defense for the way station, who had stated that this might be connected with a strange nightmare that all of the citizens have been experiencing over the last week. Visions of a battle, of a great and beautiful tree that lay dead in a city square, and the phrase, "I broke the world for you." And that, I believe, is where we had left off. I believe one or two of you had identified who this vision was originated from. And here we are. It is nighttime. I don't know why I'm playing a happy, everybody's having fun town sound. I will fix it. But you have just realized this information and stand inside the city gates. It is. Sorry, give it a second. Just starting to rain a little. And after the woman speaks with you, you see several other members, seemingly of the town guard of some kind, stepping in to provide assistance, check on the state of the walls and the door, making sure that everything is as secure as can be. What do you do?
If it's starting to rain, I'm looking for the inn.
Glancing further into the town now that things have quieted down, you can see that this. It's. Make me a perception check. Anybody who wants to.
Perception check.
Yeah, I said it.
How dare you?
How dare? How dare?
Oh my god. I almost rolled performance by mistake.
So you were at a 40.
I mean, a dirty 20 is not far off.
Hi, Big Mike. Hey, Basic B.
Oh, hey.
Throwing some love to our viewers.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
I rolled a natural 20 for 27.
Shit. Okay.
I only rolled a 12, but Kat is probably pale after that history check that
Yeah.
you had me roll last time
Mhm.
about the breaking the world. So She's just standing there,
Okay.
looking like she might want to throw up.
Okay. Faraday.
Nat 20 for 25.
Jesus.
She's actually
Two nat
looking
20s.
not so much for like a tavern or like shelter, but kind of just looking at the townspeople. Like, is this trying to get a lay of the land? Like, is this a town? Like, immediately wondering why is this place being under attack? Like, if there's any obvious signs.
Sure. Okay. Thurston, Cito, Dermot?
We're going for perception, correct?
Yes.
18. Thurston is actually in like half in the cart, just looking for his umbrella.
My God, Thurston.
It's a
I didn't
parasol.
even know he
don't
had an
lie.
umbrella.
It's a parasol. Don't lie.
It's okay, it's a parasol, but like whatever.
Jesus Christ.
Did he
Whatever,
buy
don't
this after the
judge.
last time that we had to like walk in the rain?
Yes.
21 for Cito.
Yep,
And
21.
Dermot got a dirty 20. Okay. Solid perception checks. So, as you kind of glance and spend a moment taking in your surroundings, you see that inside the very roughly thrown together wooden walls, there's a very clear distinction between what was clearly here and has been here for a long time and relatively new structures or new disturbances to the area. You can see that there are a large number of small tents and very haphazard buildings, really a small room to suit maybe a small family here and there. That there's a stark contrast to the larger stonework. Nothing major. It's not like you're in Western. It's clear that the larger stone structures are devoted to an inn. There is a supply vendor. You can see a blacksmith that stays in this town. These small buildings are few, though. And as you kind of take a step further into town, you can see that this town is a strong word. The bulk of this crossroads is actually a large graveyard that and immediately in front of you is this stone structure with this sort of spiral pike that rises from its base. I definitely had the thing that would have given more information earlier, and I'm narrating myself pulling it up right now. Well, I should have had it earlier. Don't. Okay. You can see. Thank you. Professional DM. Thank you.
Eh.
You can see marked on the base of this stone spiral. The standard bearers of revolution honor the innocent dead. Vengeance will not restore the lives of the lost, nor will it appease their spirits. We vow you will receive justice, for justice will ensure that no more guiltless blood shall be shed. The stone buildings you had spotted really sort of encircle around this graveyard, almost purposefully honoring and making sure that the graveyard itself is undisturbed. With the natural 20s in the group, I'm just going to go ahead and reveal all of this shit. You guys can see a few of these graves have been disturbed. I'll say over the course of the next few minutes or next 10 or 15 minutes, kind of glancing about, you can see clear signs of something crawling from within each of these graves, possibly to join the horde that you had just fought outside the town. And in addition, you can see, even though it is approaching, I say, 8, maybe 9 o'clock at night, there are still people out on the small dirt roads. It's made clear that the wooden walls were a recent construction, and everybody has this general feeling of unease. And just double checking, Arathea, what was your It was natural 27.
Yeah.
With a 27, you're scanning through everything around you, and seated by one of these graves, not bringing a parasol or really hindered in any sort of way by the rain, is a woman wearing a darker dress, little little haphazard, torn at the bottom. Her skin is quite pale, and she has long dark hair with a streak of white that has coursed through it. And she's got this strange, like, you, it looks like a veil should be attached to it. This little gathering of ribbon that kind of looks like a hat or a bow that maybe had something kind of going in front of the face but is now missing. She is examining one of the graves that looks like had been disturbed.
How far away is this?
She's about 45, 50 feet away.
I'll start heading in that direction.
Okay.
Try they try not to look threatening, but I'm not sure if it ever does. So
I can go. I can go with.
yeah.
It'll help us make us really look
I'll
not
point her
threatening.
out to the group just and let them know that I'm not just ADHD wandering off. I want to see if she maybe knows who was buried there or something. If there are people rising out of the ground from the town, be good to know if there's something specific about those individuals versus others.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing? Just so I can kind of keep track of everything.
Thurston is probably going to try to, like, obviously, we're probably hunkering down for the night. He's trying to determine, like, yes, we have our own secret magic place, but we probably don't want that to be known to these people. So he's going to see what the potential situation for them to stay the night is here.
Okay. One of the buildings that you guys had spotted, there is a stone carving of a name called the Lit Lantern. Seems to be that this would be the inn/tavern. It's not lavishly decorated on the outside by any means. It actually looks quite dull, but you can see a little bit of a flickering light coming from within, from a fireplace. Somebody just built a campfire in the middle of the floor. Owner doesn't really give a shit. Just it's kind of a fire hazard though. So
I mean, usually those are called hearths.
okay, well.
It's mean.
I mean, I'm not saying. Just
So
saying.
Thurston is checking out the inn. Dermot, you said you were looking for an inn as well. Do you want to join them?
Sure.
Okay. And Cad and Faraday, what are you guys doing?
I'm actually gonna cut over to Cad.
I was gonna say Kat's still looking pretty pale, but she like looks over at Faraday and she kind of like also she's still pretty fucked.
They both are.
Um,
They both
Yeah,
are.
yeah, pretty rough.
Oh, are people like still way injured? I would have been prioritizing that over getting out of the rain.
I mean, either
Uh,
one works.
She just says, I only know of one necromancer that can animate the dead from far like that. And it means that that amulet you destroyed, she was a follower of his.
I think she's back.
I don't know.
Who's
Hi.
back?
Remember Vasselheim? Remember the big
Yeah.
Titan?
Yeah. Kind of hard to miss.
People there talked about what happened then. And who was there.
Oh.
One of the Whispered Ones follow her.
Only heard stories of her, but Delilah Briarwood.
As you say the name out loud, you can't help but feel the air around you grow just a little colder. Almost like the land itself knows.
Is she getting stuck?
As this conversation is happening, I put a hand on Faraday's shoulder. You get 12 points, 12 hit points back from a cure wounds, and at the same time, Tick goes over and heals Cad for 14 points.
Appreciate ya.
How you looking now? Is better good, or does better still need improvement?
I mean, it's fine. Not at death's
It removed
door
like
anytime
a
soon.
bruise. It's okay.
Yeah.
I should really stop just like running up to them. That's how you
Yeah.
get hit.
I tried to keep my distance.
If you stay really far in the back and hide,
I think I've reached about my limit on how far I can stay away. It's about 20 feet to be effective.
In fairness, staying
Oh,
away
no.
has never really been our strong suit.
Oh no, Ash is doing something.
uh-oh.
A, the door's open. B, Rose's headset is off. And C, she started with.
Is he army crawling? I missed it. Or did he just
No.
poke his head in?
You're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted.
He wanted me to put his laptop up. So he like opened the door and then like slid it,
Slid
and
it
then he like
across the
banged
floor.
the door against the wall by mistake, so it was like loud. I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
So much.
I love Ash.
So much.
Ash antics are the best.
So bring it up. It's on record. I put it up.
I will put an arm around Cad and just kind of supporting. I know she got hit way worse than I did, which is saying something. So just kind of trying to keep warm and just kind of as we walk.
Jericho will also walk with you guys. He's limping heavily as he did catch it. He did catch an arrow to the knee.
You did.
And while it was removed and while there was some healing done, you saw how deep it went. It's going to be a little rough for him to move for a little bit, even with healing.
Tick flies over, seeing the limp still going strong. Tick flies over and heals him for 9 points.
You see he glances at this small mechanical bird with a little bit of uncertainty, but after he feels a little bit of the pain ease from his knee, kind of nods and looks over at Dermot and just gives a quiet nod.
For anybody who is unfamiliar with Dermot and Tick, Tick is a little clockwork hummingbird that Dermot built that just kind of flies around.
So good. I love him. I had a voice for him, didn't I?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Guys, you ruined
Tick
it.
does not have a speaker. Tick does not make any of its own sounds.
I remember you saying that after I had like 3 or 4 things that I had him say. And you were like, I don't understand. I didn't build him with a speaker. And I was like, that's the fun part.
Magic.
Okay, so 4 of you guys move towards the tavern. Let's cut over to Arathea and Ceto. You approach this woman standing over one of the graves. You see her long hair starting to get a little matted with the rain that's coming down. So you just hear, and she tries to like push some of it out of her face as she continues to observe. And do you guys try to approach stealthily or just sort of make yourselves known?
For a grave marker.
There is, looking at the stone, it's gonna actually take a lot to try to uncover the name. These graves, as you're walking through the graveyard,
Mhm.
a lot of the names, just through natural erosion, have been masked and rubbed away. It's clear that this graveyard has been here for a long time.
And this would be one of the older
Yes.
graves in it.
Yeah.
Then I think I'm not gonna be stealthy or
Okay.
even attempt that. I don't want to scare the living hell out of whoever this is, and B, because that seems rude. And B, it's raining, it's sloppy. Like, I am not Cad, but I think once she pulls up close, she's going to just ask quietly, Do you know who rested here?
As you speak, you hear, "Oh, I'm so
Sorry,
sorry."
No,
I d-
no, that's me. That's
Does
on
she
me.
have?
Oh
Does
no,
she have
it's
an
all
umbrella
right.
at all?
The woman does not.
Okay. While you two are conversing, I'm gonna look around for like maybe like a down tree branch or something,
Okay.
and try to grow like kind of bring life back to it, grow a bunch of leaves, and then as they're talking, like put the
That's
branch over her
super
to.
fucking cute. Make me a perception check. See if you find that branch. The woman says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just get so engrossed in my investigation. Sometimes it outside forces just slip by me. My apologies. I didn't mean to intrude. I hope that's all right."
No, no.
16, by the way. Sorry.
with
Investigation. Interesting.
with a 16, you do find a large tree branch next to a large, far dead tree. I assume you're using Druidcraft
Hmm.
to do the thing? Okay. As you're walking, you just focus your natural energy into the branch itself, and large leaves start to sprout from the branches, and you hold it over both of them.
Mhm.
The mystery woman says, oh, that's so nice of you."
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome.
That is
Sorry to interrupt
very,
the conversation.
Oh,
Cito,
not at all.
that is very useful.
Hmm.
Very creative.
My apologies. My name is Laudna.
Mm,
I don't know who was in here. I just sort of stumbled upon these open graves, and I just thought, well, it looks like fun.
The stumbling part looked like fun, or just the investigating part?
The investigating. Don't you
Oh,
think it's funny?
that
Maybe not funny. Sorry, my adjectives are a little weird.
okay.
Strange, more like.
Yes, strange, definitely. Funny, probably not funny.
Maybe not funny.
At least not for the folks here. Seems like they're, well, kind of under attack from perhaps whoever rested here at one point. She's gonna crouch down
Yes.
and really take a look at this actual grave site
Okay.
and see if there's anything to discover. In particular, I guess anything that, even though the marker is eroded, are there any markings, particularly arcane, something that could perhaps, bring something out of the ground?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay.
And I'll say make it with advantage as Laudna is assisting you.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
shoot. That went off the table.
Stop it. Stop throwing your dice.
I'm going to have a dog eating my dice if I keep doing that. Oh, that's good. That's good. That
He's begging for
No,
my
that's
french
not
fries at the
good.
moment, so
Dog eating your dice.
dog
is
eating the
not
dice
good.
is not good. I'm really glad of that advantage,
Guys,
though.
it's just a dog eat dice world.
Boo.
I'll just leave. I'm good.
Boo.
Get
Nice, you're good.
out.
Yeah.
Yep. 29.
Don't get out. It's gonna mess with the overlay, and we
Yeah.
don't want to deal with
Yeah.
that right now.
Oh, yeah, no, then I have to
Worth
DM.
it. Get out.
That's what happens.
So like leave the camera on, but leave the room. So
Yeah,
just
that's
like
fine.
no.
Go
Yeah,
get Ash.
Good ace.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
go get
PJ
Ash.
now takes
He's
her place.
thirsted now.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Arthea, what was your investigation?
29.
29. With a 29, you do not find any sort of necromantic runes or any signs of the gravestone or the ground around this particular grave has been disturbed other than
Yeah.
something crawling from below.
And it's
Um,
definitely a crawling out and not necessarily a digging
Yes.
up.
Correct.
Okay.
One piece you do come across on this gravestone that may lend itself to some information is a very, like, again, similar to the markings on the gravestones, very eroded, but you can see a seal, almost like a, I don't want to say the sign of the cross, but like you get this religious marking that looks almost like the family crest of Zan Teldore.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. I want to check something from last week. Da 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 da. I remember the townsfolk, the guard had said that the skeletons seemed to come from Ironseat when they were talking about they had been coming from a week, basically,
Mhm.
like pretty much like clockwork every night from Ironseat. I don't remember if we either did, if anyone specified what that, like what the history of that location is, or not.
Nobody had really specified that in that
Okay.
conversation. I'll say if you want to roll a history check, I can give you some of that
Yeah,
information.
just to get an, I guess, between the symbol and the mention that they're coming from this particular direction. She's trying to think of, if is there a reason that they're coming here specifically, and also coming from there.
Sure.
History. What do I do in history? 21.
With a 21. You've done a little bit of reading up on some of the other cities and towns and surrounding areas in this region specifically. And you do recall a little bit of information on the Silvercut Roadway
Mhm.
and the Wildwood Byway. So pretty much right in this area.
Okay.
During the rule of Drassig, many innocents and war heroes were executed by hanging with a massive gallows that once stood at this crossroads. After Taldore had taken over, they laid as many of them to rest as they could find, with the stone monument you had seen earlier placed at its forefront, to sort of honor those who had lost. Now, as for the mountain itself, give me a moment. I had a thing once
Nothing for
again.
you. Nothing
I
for you.
had a thing. Doo,
All gone.
doo.
Mom, I heard there were dice I could eat.
Nobody. I picked them up. They're all gone. She's like
Um,
standing there like this.
The Iron Seat Ridge,
Mm.
the small group of mountains that is right next to the crossroads. The mountains themselves are angular, almost representing like a seat of some kind, hence the moniker Iron Seat. There was a very strong rumor that somewhere within the Iron Seat Ridge, a Titan had once lived, and it was thought that the seat itself was their throne. There are lots of rumors amongst treasure hunters and rogues of that sort of variety that seek notoriety, money, gold, that sort of thing, that say that the mountains themselves are actually supposed to be hollow, that there is a series of labyrinthine tunnels that lead below the ground to vast sources of riches and powerful magical items, that sort of thing. Yet not very many have been able to enter and leave with their health intact.
Is this a people go in there and don't come back out question thing where, there might be tunnels, but no one has been able to confirm it because everyone who goes in search of whatever this is doesn't come back? Or is it people coming back and they're totally, totally messed up, insane, but they have come out?
Column A and column B, I'll say that the amount of people you've heard go in vastly does not match the people who have come out.
And the people who have come out have not come back the same.
No, they still come out broken in some
Awesome.
way, shape, or form.
This is a great place. We should definitely go there. Vacation time, guys.
Just make
Yep.
me your vacation planner, guys. I got this.
Yeah, no, this sounds
I'll
like
bring
great.
this
Like,
big
we'll have one of
branch.
those. This is like one of these
First.
multi-stop tours on the way to the Feywild.
Why are we going to this less popular part of Hawaii? Oh, there's an actual haunted house here. Let's go take a look.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm sure it's fine.
Can I make a quick suggestion? Can we do anything but that?
No, it's too late. I already paid the deposit. Let's go.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, so that's okay. So she has a general sense of at least what might have been there. How long have you been here? She's gonna
Just
ask for Laudna.
just a couple days, really.
So you've seen them come. They said they come once
Yes.
a day, and then do they come in and they retreat at dawn, or has the town been fighting them back?
The town at first was a little bit light on their defenses, really. I don't believe that they were expecting something like this. This seems relatively new. As for their behavior, I couldn't really tell you. I've come across some other undead and other monsters that shouldn't be, but smart skeletons like these, that's new. I was
Oh.
curious.
Speaking of smart skeletons, she's gonna just turn real quick and look for Bones. Where is he?
Bones is. Make a perception check real quick. Cito, you can make one too if you'd like.
Sure.
What's my perception on this? Miss Jackson.
Miss Jackson. Okay.
Half of Miss Jackson.
Okay. Well, half of Miss Jackson. You scan the area around you, and Bones is nowhere to be found, leading you to believe something's wrong. But as for Arthea, you see across the way back towards some of the tents, there is a clothesline. It's like, unfortunately, whoever is staying at this tent is not around to take care of their cloak and whatnot. But you just see this skeletal hand reach out towards the clothesline and take one of the large robes that was laying there. You see it disappear behind the tent, and then clutching it very closely, you see a pair of skeletal feet walking underneath this cloak, the hood sort of perking up and looking around as they
Beckon
move
him
from shadow
over.
to shadow. You see, points at himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he almost like a Scooby-Doo creepy stealthy walk creeps over. Laudna says, yes, it's quite strange. I've not encountered something like this. I was just sort of drawn to this area, and I think I know why.
Well, why?
Oh,
Because it's fun, it's interesting, or
I think that the darkest places are the most intriguing.
that's actually a fair assessment.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if it's a good assessment, but it's a fair one.
At this point, Bones has finished walking up, this time keeping the hood of the cloak pulled over their skull.
Aw.
Excuse me. So, person under the cloak. I'm looking for my friend. I haven't really seen him.
They just show you their face.
Oh. It's just you. All right. I keep holding the branch.
You hear, my gods.
This is, well, this is Bones, or we've been calling him Bones. Can't, we haven't quite figured out his name yet. It has an R in it,
You just
but
see this little hand perk up and wave. Fascinating.
he's been traveling with us for, well, I guess a couple days now.
Huh.
He was outside the town, and unlike the rest of the ones out here, seems to not really be interested in any of that.
Hmm.
I think he was
Intriguing.
I think he was brought, well, I think he was brought back, but maybe not completely.
Huh.
Seems to be there, but not, not there. He's my
Right.
Fully there.
Yeah,
He's kind of fully there.
he's good here. He's not so good on the skin and the
Mm.
muscles.
Hmm.
You just see he opens the cloak and like
Mhm.
puts his bony finger in the spot where his gut should be and like waves around, proving that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And Laudna's like, this is absolutely fascinating. A resurrection that didn't complete all the way. Oh, I suppose that's quite depressing, really. But interesting nonetheless.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I've never really heard of one that I've heard of ones that haven't worked at all, nothing
Oh,
happens.
yes.
And then ones where it's worked and ones where it might have worked over a long time, but nothing where people sort of came back and then seem to
Hmm.
not be able to, well, they can't move forward, they can't move back, they're kind of just stuck.
Hmm.
Seems like they're, I don't know,
In between.
trapped in between. I mean, they're
Hmm.
not fully alive in the sense that they don't have their body fully back or a body, but they can't move on. And even when you try, they only stay down for a very short
Something
time,
brings them back.
again and again and again.
Hmm. Believe it or not, that I am intimately familiar with.
Kind
But
of,
it is raining at this
yeah,
point, and I do believe that there was that inn.
there is an
Why
inn.
don't we continue this conversation next to a fire? I'm sure you're
Yes,
quite
please.
cold.
And all of a sudden you see her look around like, actually, yeah, I, yeah, I'm quite cold. She's been too distracted until now, but she will take the time to kind of usher Bones ahead.
Bones will completely clothe up and hide any indication that they are a skeleton. Um, and Laudna will approach Sito. Thank you again for your umbrella, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. I can continue carrying it around.
What are your names? You just seem like a jolly little group.
Oh God, we never introduced ourselves.
Oh, it's
No,
perfectly fine.
no, it's really not.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's really not.
not a problem.
I'm Arthea. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine.
I'm Cedo.
Sito. Wonderful names, wonderful people. I'm so
Mm.
excited. I maybe shouldn't be, but you know.
Can I sense motive on her? Or
Uh,
an insight
go,
check?
go ahead and roll an insight check.
17.
Okay. With a 17, you gather that they're specifically with the comment, I'm intimately familiar with that when referring to beings that can't cross over. You
Mhm.
definitely sense that there was more to, like, there was weight to what she said, even if she was trying to hide it a little bit.
Mhm.
You also gather that Laudna doesn't know how to turn the creepy down from time to time. Like it's
She's
more
just,
social awkwardness than it
yeah,
is,
she's an
oh,
awkward
I'm a
taco for
crafty
sure.
necromancer. Like she's just misunderstood a lot of the time.
Gotcha. I'm
But she
familiar
does
with
seem
that.
pretty genuinely curious and interested in your little party. With that, you gather yourselves and move towards the inn. We're going to cut back to the other group here. As I find the thing, there is the thing. I found the thing. Load the thing now. Can you load the thing? You loaded the thing. Look at you.
Such a good computer.
I'm just so excited and proud of you. Um, we'll stick with the original four for a second. You guys enter the stone building and see a large-ish room. I mean, it's about 25, 30 feet across. It's got a handful of tables. It's not that occupied at the moment. There is a large fireplace that's built into the center of the building, with a not that exciting bar, with a bald human male standing behind the counter. He, as you guys enter in, you actually come to observe an argument that this man is having with another patron. This woman is at the bar screaming, "Why aren't you doing anything? You know how to fix this." And he responds, I'm not I'm not getting involved. I can't do it anymore. So I'm sorry if that upsets you, but I'm not changing my stance. She's fucking coward. She like slams her tankard out of her hand and ale spills everywhere and she storms past you out of the tavern. Just kind of you see his shoulders drop a little bit and he grabs a towel and starts cleaning up and he perks up. Hey, sorry about that. Give me a second. I'll get you guys some drinks. Oh, you're welcome to sit for a second. And he just starts cleaning up the ale that's been spilled everywhere.
I go to just have a seat at the bar.
Okay.
And say, is everything okay? She doesn't
Ichi,
seem very happy with you right now. Anything we might be able to help with?
can you bring her brother back?
Where's her brother?
Well, if the last couple of days have been any indication, probably with some of the undead that's been attacking the town over and over again.
Ah,
Sorry. He finishes cleaning up and puts the towel over his shoulder. Drinks, rooms, what can I get for you guys? Food? Got some somewhat decent food for you guys. If you want.
I kind of just turn around to the rest of the group, who I assume is like just standing behind me, probably still in the doorway at this point, and I just repeat what he just said: drinks, food, rooms.
All of
Jericho
the above.
kind of grunts as he sits into a chair and still examines his knee. Anything with alcohol, please. It just goes back to his knee.
Drop Cat in a chair and sit.
Drinks and food for starters would be lovely.
Sounds good.
Anything with alcohol, I'm told.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sounds
if you
good.
do have wine, that would be lovely. At least one glass.
None but your finest.
Right. He turns and looks at he's got like a couple bottles of whiskey, he's got a little bit of rum, but he does he reaches underneath the bar into like an empty box except for one bottle. And he kind of pulls it up and it's like there's dust and a little bit of cobwebs all over it. He just goes this is our last bottle of wine. If you're okay with it being a little on the older side.
I'm sure that it's simply aged. Thank you.
All right. He over the course of the next couple minutes, he does come back with drinks. Thurston, your wine, little on the vinegary side. It's not the nicest or best tasting wine that you've had ever,
Oh.
but it's not completely ruined.
He takes a sip and he goes, "That may need to aerate a little bit more." And he's he's gonna let that breathe. Let that breathe.
He eventually does come back also with some food for you guys. Simple food, nothing extravagant by any means. A few pieces of bread, some bacon, some potatoes. Nothing fancy at all, really. Says all in all, it's just about 3 silver for everything.
And how much will rooms for the night cost?
Rooms are 2 silver a night. I got several rooms available. So, whatever you guys need.
Joe,
Yes.
odds or evens?
Oh God.
Both.
Now
That's
you
right.
gotta
I'm
pick-
going 0.
You got to pick one.
Odds.
Odds. Okay. I reach into a belt pouch and pull out the correct number of silver pieces.
There you go.
Thurston has a tear in his eye. He's so proud of him. So proud.
Uh, Thurston looks at Dermot, not looking at like the coins hardly at all, and you realize those could have easily been platinums. Dermot just got lucky.
God.
That would have been life-changing for this bartender, I'll tell you that.
Mhm.
But yeah, you pay him for the food. How many rooms and for how many nights do you guys plan on staying?
Crystal Telegram,
There
want to
are
stay long?
7 of us, right?
You guys plus Jericho. If you don't count Bones as a person, Dermot. Do not count Bones
Oh,
as a person.
Bones has his own storage space. I think he'll be okay.
Bones collapses himself into somebody's bag if he wants to.
Saying
Yeah,
it's rude, but
Is he like a Murphy bed, but like a Murphy party member?
A Murphy NPC.
Murphy
That's fair.
NPC?
Obviously,
That's
his
fair.
name is Murphy now. You know
Yeah.
that, right?
Mm, yes. Yes.
it does have an R in it somewhere.
Have an
Mhm.
R in it.
Um,
Oh.
3 rooms.
Sure.
3 rooms.
Sounds good.
Start for the night and see where we.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll say just travel as a group. It's not safe to get lost out there.
Hmm.
He takes the coin and goes back around to behind the bar.
We're learning that very quickly.
The longer you stay, the more it hurts. I'll just say that. All right. What's your story? Bartender says.
Excuse
Uh,
me?
You got gonna assume a higher up in some town. I'm gonna guess Western traveling with you. We've got a fawn. I see the hooves. I see the nice dress. We've got a. He kind of scans Faraday. I'm gonna say a wild card. Not assuming. You got a shadowy one with you, and I believe I clocked 2 other people traveling with you too. Quite the group.
We
You're the shadow.
Of course.
Cat is probably
Cito.
the shadowy one.
Cito.
Yeah. Cadriel, who already portrays herself as being like the one to stick to the shadows, was describing herself as being pale since finding out about Briarwood. So, like, oh, vampire look complete. Moving on.
Did we talk about, I remember talking about choosing fake names for all of us.
Yeah.
Did
Mhm.
we actually do that?
I only have one. I've
I
seen
think
it.
I
Yes.
did.
Cito
Yes.
chose.
Bungie.
Yes.
Yes. Bungie.
Yes, Bungie.
I've been trying to keep
That's-
track of
That's
who's
too cheery.
done that. It's very cheery.
I'm working on it.
Let me, because this is all something I introduce all of us with our fake names, except for myself. I'm still Dermot.
Okay.
And I introduce us as the Raven's flock. You're actually not far off with Western. We operate out of a tavern not too far outside the city in Terse Fields, the Wishing Well.
You have a tavern in Terse Fields?
We do now.
Wow. Hey, if it brings some excitement to that town, more power to you.
And we travel around. Currently, we were going to continue south, looking for work, looking to, find some adventure. We are adventurers, after all, I suppose.
Clocked you a
Uh,
mile away. I mean no disrespect by that. I just a lot of adventuring kind comes through, and I give them the same advice I'm going to give you.
to quit while we're still alive.
Exactly. This crossroads is a perfect bait for creatures of your ilk, and lingering when something as dark and shadowy as the undead, and possibly something worse, hanging over our heads at any given moment, it's not a good environment. You'll just add to their number.
What do you know about this worse?
I can gather, based off of some pretty vivid nightmares that all of us have been experiencing over the last week, that there's more to it than just skeletons. Plus, they're too well trained to have just been a ghost populated back into their body. It's more to it. I can sense that.
This has been going on. I think I heard somebody say a few days or a week
About
that
a
this
week.
all started.
Yeah. It's
And
weird. First, why am I? If I don't tell you, you'll probably just ask somebody else. Started with some of those graves in the crossroads. That's what the first ones perked up. And then they came back, took a couple of our number, and then their number grew. And then they did it again. And then again.
And every day their numbers grow larger with your losses.
Exactly. It's weird. The people they take aren't fighters of any kind, really. There's a few arcane casters here and there, but nobody really worth shaking a stick at, save for that elf that came through yesterday. But when they come back, it's like they're being piloted by somebody else.
They don't keep any of the same abilities that they had in life, do they?
One of the, well, actually, the wonderful woman earlier, her brother was a tanner. Last I checked, he's swinging a gigantic axe now, with training that you only see in a fully trained soldier. I'll say at this point, Cito, Arthea, and Laudna enter. Bones does also enter, but just sort of has adopted the old lady with a back problem pose, where nothing is visible underneath the cloak.
We will make our way over toward our friend's table.
Oh my god, you're so many. Oh, you're so interesting. Hello.
Do I recognize?
You.
Yeah.
I remember you.
Nice to see you.
She gives a little curtsy. I'm
Have a
glad.
chair.
Oh, thank you. And she plops down. One ale, if you don't mind, sir. He's like, yeah, okay. And just starts pulling drinks for the newcomers. So, there's clearly a lot more than just the two of you. And I remember seeing you before. You're a good friend of Care's, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, my name is Laudna. It's wonderful to make your acquaintance.
Finally, actually.
And, the rest of you, if I may ask? If you don't want to, that's all right. I only just met you.
I remove my hat and with a flourish, I introduce myself. Dermot O'Ferry, at your
Quite the
service.
gentleman. Oh, I like your horns. They're quite polished.
I try to keep them neat for company.
Yeah.
Wonderful to meet you, Cadriel. Is that the raven skull that you have around your neck?
It is indeed.
Blessings upon you.
And you.
And Thurston, you see this woman that even stepping inside near the fireplace does not return any color to her skin. She looks pale as a motherfucker.
Thurston Dollard.
Oh, Nollard. Of the nobility?
Though one and the same.
Wonderful to make your acquaintance, good sir.
Yours as well.
I suppose we can sort of combine our minds to figure out what is haunting the crossroads. I'm quite enthused to figure out what it is exactly, but I'm curious if you had any ideas?
If you don't mind me asking, what's your stake in the mystery?
Well, sort of strange, really. I woke up a few months ago, really, and I just felt this urge to travel in this direction. I don't quite understand why, but I thought if that urge was enough to bring me here, then it must be worth exploring.
Can I roll insight on that?
Absolutely, roll insight.
Cryptic and weird as fuck.
Would we be able to deduce it's because she's being controlled like the others are? The other skeletons were?
I'll say make another insight check.
Insight is a 17.
With a 17, she is specifically keeping some information hidden, but her intent, you gather, is not of a malevolent variety. She is pretty straightforward in that she wants to help, but yeah, she's not being all too forthcoming with her other reasons for being here.
I rolled an 18.
18. You key into the words, I woke up and felt the urge to come here. And you register a little bit of weight, matching possibly your earlier thought. That something compelled her to come here.
Mutter under my breath. Faraday. She woke her up too.
But
like a small.
Jericho has been eyeing her,
I mean,
and he also leans down to like focus on his drink, but then mutters underneath his breath to catch Faraday's attention. Do you feel the shenanigans? And he takes a drink. You do. You get it's slight. You felt
I
well,
felt a
let
little
me-
bit of it when I met her the first time. I thought.
Mhm. You do register that feeling, the shenanigans. By the way, for those who are wondering, the shenanigans is what we call the blood hunter being able to sense nearby fey fiend or undead. And I think it was like if your hand itches, it's one thing. If
Yeah,
your
like
neck
the back of the
itches,
neck. Yeah.
yeah. I'll say back of the
Spidey
neck.
sense.
Yeah. The back of the neck shenanigans are what you're feeling a little bit right now. You're pretty consistently feeling it whenever Bones is around for obvious reasons, but
Yeah.
it's a little different now that she's sitting at your table.
Uh,
have you guys heard anything else? I mean, Laudna here says that she really has some, at least I guess, insight or experience in uh, things of this nature, things that don't stay dead.
Cujo, can I roll a? Ooh. Can I roll
I
something?
don't know what
I don't
that-
know. Arcana, maybe?
What are you trying to deduce?
Trying to deduce if there is any sort of like I know that necromancers exist, like that we fought one, but
Mhm.
like, and I know who is controlling these things. At least I assume so.
Mhm.
But I guess maybe history. No, you know what? I know what I want to roll. I have the Grim Psychometry,
Mhm.
which allows me, if I'm present in a location, it recalls information about a darker past.
Oh, okay.
So I would like to roll that.
Make me a history check with advantage. So you're okay. So just to clarify, so you're gathering through your grim psychometry understanding of this place and its darker history.
Yeah, to see like we know the who. We
Mhm.
know the what.
Mhm.
I think Faraday kind of wants to think about the why.
Why
Okay.
here?
Why here? Like, is there
Okay.
anything about here that would draw that in? We're so close to Kamal. Like, why here instead of a big city?
Or
Okay.
West
All
Run
right.
Or
or
Western or anything? Like, why here? Is there any sort of background to why Laudna would be drawn here, even?
Okay. Go ahead and make me your history check.
Oh, shit, hold on. I use dice that don't have certain numbers on the no, that's a 19 plus 3, 22.
The 22. You focused in on some of the abilities that you gather from Novus. And you almost like as you are casting or using your blood magic, you kind of feel yourself disconnect and focus on what it is that your intent is. This time you almost kind of let your eyes glaze over as you focus on the shadows around you, the shadows you saw walking in. The graveyard, the mountains next to you. And you start kind of going back in your brain, anything you could have come across, any stories that you heard about Delilah Briarwood. And obviously, the Whitestone incident does come into mind. From start to finish, you know how that goes. But then you think to yourself, what if she had another lab? What if there was a secondary location that she was toying with? And that thought leads you to the stories that you overheard about the Iron Seat Ridge and about what could be lurking within the tunnels, and that people don't typically go wandering inside those mountains without good cause or without a need for riches or anything like that. And you think to yourself, what could make for a more perfect location than inside a mountain range that is already not on a high list of targets for people to explore? And that comes to mind.
Um, are the locals like the tavern keep one away? So it's just us at the tavern. Is there a ton
Tavern
of
Keep is
locals
back at
in
the.
here?
There are like two
Okay.
that are just absorbed into their drink. The bar is only like 10, 15 feet away, so he's nearby-ish. He's just not, like in your nose, like
Right.
wondering what you're thinking.
Okay. Um. Do I get anything about? So I get about the mountain. Do I get anything about the Silvercut Crossroads in particular? I know I'm kind of pushing.
You're good.
Anything about the Silvercut Crossroads? Like, why Sen? Is she like? Is it just because it's a graveyard? And like, if you want me to roll like an insight, maybe even too. Like, is it just because it's a graveyard, a mass graveyard, basically?
I'll say go ahead and roll me an insight check. Because now you're starting to dive into the
Yeah.
psychology of the character.
Yeah. 11.
11.
I don't expect to understand Delilah Bro.
I'll give you this. It does strike you as out of place that of all the places to start an undead incident or invasion, why here? It's completely out of the way. It's nowhere near those who got, who killed her or Silas. But then also, you again think back to the Whitestone incident and how many undead she summoned. Why did she only summon a handful here? So you're deducing that something's off. Obviously, there's a clear indication that connects Delilah to this place,
Mm-hmm.
but her motives or her decisions here don't match the brilliant mind.
Yeah.
It leaves you with more questions than answers. I don't know if that helps, but
No, it confirms what I was thinking. It kind of confirms Faraday's theory, like the theories and all the stuff that's kind of running in her head already.
Mhm.
That like, yeah, she'll look at Arthea and just something's off. Something's weird. There's
More than the dead that won't die.
yeah.
terrible thing that is.
There is someone else who would probably like to know what's going on here. Gilmore.
I can call him, but maybe, yeah, we'll have to send a message to him tonight. But what is going on here? Obviously, skeletons. We have dead that were raised, some of whom seem to be long dead. And then they're coming every night to either try to get into the town, attack the town, build their army, something, and then they retreat.
I don't get why here.
She's going to look to Laudna, who's been here a couple days, and say, do they retreat or are they fought back and eventually leave? Is it like they grab a couple people and then leave, or are they trying to get? Do they ever get into the town?
Oh,
That you
once or
recall?
twice they did.
Well,
These
they
walls were relatively new.
They started in the town, didn't
Yeah.
they? And I look back to the barkeep. Isn't that what you said a minute ago?
Yeah, yeah. Some of the ones out of the graveyard came up first, and Laudna goes, "I kind of figured, timeline-wise, that soil looked a little, oldly disturbed, if that makes any sense."
So they
And
left the. So initially they left the town. They up out of the ground and then did
apparently,
whatever they did. It was. Guessing this happened at night, perhaps while most people were sleeping and dreaming of
better
terrible things.
times, better places. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, that was the case.
Did the dreams start around the same time?
Yep.
What has everyone been dreaming? I don't think we got a clear answer on that.
Um, it's weird to explain, but it's like memories from someone that's insane. uh, I think we see. I've been to the place once or twice, but that tree was pretty iconic in my mind. I think we see images of the Sun Tree in Whitestone. We see, but it was dead, long dead. There were people hanging from its branches, and then it's like it snaps to another scene, and you just hear almost as if like you're saying it. I broke the world for us. And then we see just blood and monsters, and eventually the last thing we see for just an instant is a undead wearing tattered purple robes, gold, I don't even know, brands, markings, and one of his eyes, it's like glowing bright green.
Immediately look to Cad.
Just gets up and walks out because she needs some air.
Oh, sorry, I hope it wasn't me.
We
It
definitely
wasn't.
need to tell Gilmore now
We
if
need to
these
tell
people are
Gilmore.
dreaming of Whitestone in that state.
Also,
Like-
something sounded familiar about this, and I remember months ago, right after, well, the first time we came to Westrun, we were doing research into things, and one of the things that, and kind of nod toward Cad, was Cad and I were working on was what happened to her former um her-
Employer?
not her employer, her former fellow employees. Let's call
Mm.
them that. Her coworkers, and that the last activity from them was down here 2 years ago. There were disappearances in this region, so perhaps something has been lurking for longer than these last couple weeks, and only now is beginning to pull others into its orbit. Aw, kitty.
Wearing with the kitty.
Fair to-
Cito, this is no time for wasting wild shapes.
Just turns into a house cat
I'm
and does
like-
that purring thing where he walks and like rubs against everybody's leg.
Oh,
Calm
uh,
everybody.
I see
Oh.
something that frightens me. I do like the completely stiff arch back, like
Put a cucumber on the floor next to you.
yeah. Huh.
On the wall.
Cito actually walks in. No, that's just like an actual cat.
Cat.
I'm right
Like, what are you
here.
We've been
talking about?
having a conversation with a stray cat this entire time,
entire time.
and then Cito walks into the bar
That's
like,
amazing.
"Hey, you guys abandoned me. What happened?"
What the fuck, guys?
That's fantastic.
I was just looking for branches and stuff.
Casting Wild Shape is just more just like, oh, what crazy random happenstance? A saber-toothed tiger's here, and Cito like hides in a corner.
Yeah.
He's not actually a druid.
You guys hear
No,
like
he's
from
a bard.
behind a barrel on the other side of the dungeon. That's not me.
He's a bard with greater illusion.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
You're a Beastmaster Ranger with several like
Yeah.
partner beasts.
Yeah. I probably will follow Kat out once I see her leave. I feel.
Gerda kind of like was about to.
No, you can come. You can come. He said to stick together.
As you guys head towards the bar, he reaches back and grabs a bottle of whiskey and just puts it on the bar on me.
I'll grab it.
Let's cut to outside. Cad, within a few moments, you are accompanied by Arathea and Faraday.
Said it's raining, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't even try to not get wet. It's kind of like when you're walking the dog and it starts downpouring, you're fucked. You know.
You made
see
your
an
bed.
You do see an unusually large branch right outside the door.
Yeah.
It's like an
A
awning.
flower has
Arathea-
sprouted from it.
Arathea just like picks up the branch umbrella and brings it with her. Just I mean, prestidigitation's not going to work for this, guys.
I'll hand over the bottle.
This is bad.
I'll be right back, guys.
I can't get away from this. He just everywhere I go, something is happening. He's trying to come back.
Of course he is.
Sorry, loud. Fix it. There we go. Sorry.
Those who want power are always, especially when they have dedicated zealots, like the one that I think is living in that.
You think
I'm pretty sure.
you think someone took up residence
What
after
better
he
place?
after he departed? But these, and correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I don't remember all this, but Cad, but he's gone. He is.
It's bound across planes, but
So he can't just come back in the same fashion that he previously was. Not without things changing, at least.
I'm not an expert, but I don't think so.
But his followers, obviously, still exist.
I
And
recently
still.
acquired an ability that I think is why he wanted me. This is bad for everybody in Taldore.
Certainly bad for these people, but I don't know. Dermot's right. We do need to send to Gilmore if the individual involved is the person that it seems to be.
This is above us. Not that I don't want to help, but
I mean, we might be able to help, but not. This might require a bit more than we can provide. I mean, the type of magic that you have to employ to do that is light years beyond, I think, anything I've ever even come across, let alone tried. really, that's a really good way to just basically, turn yourself to ash. But
I just feel like it's following me. Not me specifically, but
it's not.
I've just been. Every time I try to get away from it, it seems like it pops up again. I don't know.
Do you want to get away from it, or do you want to, well, and forgive the phrase, that do you want to make sure that there's nothing that you have to worry about getting away from? I don't know, you never struck me as the running type, despite the amount of traveling we've done.
Suppose I just want to make up for the things that I did.
I don't think you can. Not a lot of good even in the last 6 months.
Yeah, six-ish. You've done good longer than that. 2 years, maybe? Well,
6 months doesn't make up for killing people.
no, but it's a start. And you just keep going.
Can't punish yourself forever. If you're gonna keep yourself, you're going to grade yourself with checks and balances, and with every wrongdoing you did counts for double the good.
That's how it works.
That's not fair to you either.
Well, I'm trying. I just don't. I don't know how to stop this. I mean, how can anybody stop this?
And that's why we're here.
We're here to get to the Feywild.
We can do both. We've become quite adept at multitasking. Besides, if this is like you said, this is seems to be something that pops up everywhere since we were in Whitestone. I mean, probably even before, we just never saw it. So I think whether we go to the Feywild now or in a day or in 2 days, that's still going to be out there. And for all we know, it's in the Feywild too.
Wild.
Well, maybe not her specifically, but colleagues.
Other
I
one
mean,
in a oof.
she's dead, correct? Like she died. I'm not completely screwing my history here. She
Once, as far as I'm aware.
I mean, that's shut up, Cujo.
I mean, my understanding is that, and again, this kind of, I don't know, this comes from the books that I got from Gilmore like 6 months ago, but there was a battle. She was killed, but maybe not permanently, and then came back, and then she was actually killed.
Think so?
And
You
so,
actually kill a necromancer.
well, I think you can actually kill anyone. If you try hard enough.
Well, if she's in the Feywild, I suppose we could set the fairies after her.
I'm not saying she's in the Feywild, but I think whatever is underlying everything, for all we know, it might crop up there too. So, and Delilah, whoever, whatever, I would assume that I don't know, maybe she bound herself to something or in something, or I mean, I guess you can make other bodies for yourself. Oh God.
Woman like
think
Delilah
that's what
Briar
she's
would as a
trying to do.
cockroach.
Yeah.
That woman in there said she was drawn this way. All I can think is that she's trying to find a new body for herself.
New host. She's just kind of out there looking for something to latch onto. You would think that as a
Bringing
necromancer,
back
she would have set that
potentials?
up. Well, I mean, you would think as a necromancer you'd have that set up already. You know, contingency planning. Have a few of them stashed around when your massive titan. So that when you get, I mean, honestly, I've thought about it. I don't know if anyone else has, but we've had some close calls recently too. No one else has thought about these things, like what, you know.
And that's when the party knew Arathea
Nope.
was getting into some dangerous thought
Nope.
patterns.
Typical wizard. Nope. Didn't have that thought.
You guys don't just possibly have clone bodies just around Taldore?
Nope. Can't say I do.
I
That's
mean,
a thing?
I
Can't
mean,
say I do.
some people, I'm not saying I have a bunch of bodies around. That would be weird. And I mean, really, I wouldn't have had time to do anything like that anyway. But
Yeah, it would be crazy to admit something like that out
Is that really
loud.
why we're hauling all of Thurston's luggage? Is that where you're hiding them?
I mean, would he really realize it? I mean, honestly, he has so much in there he
In
wouldn't
the back
even
of
know.
a closet? Like, come on.
You think he doesn't have a spreadsheet?
Inventory.
It's the literal
It's not that
Yeah,
skeletons.
closet from Clueless.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
get out of my head, because that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Rhodes, if you, as a player, have a spreadsheet of his clothes.
Oh my god, please tell me you do.
Don't today,
Okay,
but I can
don't.
tomorrow if you want to test me.
That's the sign of a psychopath.
Isn't the woman who made an actual contract
Uh-huh.
for
Yeah, that was
Quincy?
fucking
Do you
Yeah.
insane.
really want to challenge it?
Okay,
For the
to be fair, I just stole that and then just had to edit it. But there was a base template that I already
Yeah.
borrowed.
Well,
But the fact that
Thurston
you
probably
did it at
has
all.
a base template
Yeah.
that he uses and modifies. So, all right. I'm not
Anyway.
saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying this is something I would want to do or have any intention of doing, but it's something that can be done. People even like that are terrified of what happens if they fail or if they.
Just seems more and more that he's involved in just about everything that's going on here, and that scares even me more than I can tell you.
Okay, you know, to be scared. I mean, I'm terrified most of the time, so an important part is that you keep going on even though you are scared.
Yes, you're right. Well, at least you can't watch me anymore without an amulet.
We're here. Just like we were before.
Yeah, this time we'll thoroughly check any amulets or other jewelry that we acquire. Honestly, this has been twice now that we've gotten jewelry that it turns out has other properties, so
Probably stop accepting you.
I mean, we should at least check it before we accept it.
Like Halloween candy.
It
There's
is.
razor blades
These
in the
razor
Butterfingers.
blades.
Yeah. Now, we should get inside, not stand out in the rain, and let's decide if what we're gonna do here, like you said, and if this might require more
Much
than
more.
we can offer, especially if it is someone of that level seeking to restore themselves. or gather an army, or both?
We gotta get that guy off Faraday's back too, because I don't think we can do this without you.
Oh, yeah. And that goes for you too, Cad.
You know,
Get some food, get some rest.
Drink some whiskey.
I'll take a swig and pass it around.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's probably just been happening as we're doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I guess, do we want to stay here? Or do we want to just call Gilmore tonight? Like,
We should call him tonight. See what he says. Stay the night. I'd like to check on. You brought that thing with you, right?
oh, yeah, no. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If we. Before we go to bed. Checking. Or I can check. Scry a little bit.
Why don't we both try to check? I'd like to see if multiple people can use it. Or if this is, a one viewer only.
A one-on-one show.
Yeah, like is this just a peephole, or is this
Well, I don't want
like
to
we're
know
watching?
what peep shows you're watching across other planes.
You know what? There are
This
what,
in
like
the
I don't know how
Feywild
many.
is- Yeah, there's
I don't know
like...
how.
Get
I don't know how
wild
many-
in the Feywild.
Oh,
Mhm. I think I labeled a session that at some point.
I think so too.
Yeah. There's a lot of plane. I mean, there's a lot of planes in that ball. There's a lot of interesting things to see. But yes, we can
Sorry,
check in on it, and don't be sorry.
just sometimes just makes me feel like I'm drowning.
Well, that's why you have friends.
Right, I'll be sure.
I mean, if nothing else, we're gonna jump down there with you.
All right. Cutting
Well, damn.
back to the bar. Laudna has started a conversation with Cedo. I had this thought. I have this rat
Mhm.
skull.
Mm.
What if I put it on a dead rat and I have a little finger puppet?
Put the skull on a dead rat.
Mhm.
So you're putting a dead rat on a dead rat.
Yes, essentially. It's just returning them to their former form. I can't regrow, all of the extra bits, but it'd be kind of fun, right?
Honestly, like whatever makes you happy. That
Wouldn't
makes me
that
happy.
Wouldn't that rat have just an extra skull then?
Well, I would have to, take care of that situation. Might be a little gruesome, but I don't know.
What?
I'm just trying to think of something to entertain the people around me. Tend to keep people a little bit off kilter. I don't mean to do that. Just something to get a laugh.
I have a different idea. Do you mind if we try my idea first? And I
I'm all
just
ears.
reach behind my back and grab Fiona.
do you just
Yes,
play
I
it?
already like
I
this
just
idea
like
better.
motion to like all of Laudna and just like don't do any of that.
No.
Mhm.
Just don't.
Just
Don't.
Just don't be you.
just for a
Hey.
minute.
Hey. And he looks at Laudna, or Cedo looks at Laudna, pulls a little seed out, pulls a flower. Hey, that may have sounded harsh, but here's a flower. This'll cheer you up. Isn't it nice to bring life?
Isn't that delicious? Delicious. I don't know why I went with delicious. It's not the term I wanted.
Delicious. I
Isn't it
mean, it could be
delightful?
I wouldn't eat that.
delicious.
That's
What
a
kind of
rose.
flower it
It'll,
is.
yeah. You're gonna have the runs.
I actually really like that. Oh, looks delicious.
Ooh. Ugh.
I
She'll put it in her dress so the flower peeks out. This is wonderful. Thank you so much.
I look at the barkeep and say, I'm sorry, I don't think I ever caught your name.
It's Whitlock.
Whitlock. Do you mind?
Go for it. I can't pay you if that's what you're asking.
Oh, none necessary.
He doesn't understand money. It's fine.
Kind of gathered.
That is a 9, so 20, not 23. Actually, yes, 23.
Shut up.
With a 23. Obviously, this is a lute that we're listening to, but just imagine that it's a violin. You play a
I'm
nice...
so good, I can make a violin sound like a lute.
Fiona's like, oh, this is not usually how I'm played, but it's all right. But yeah, you play a nice little happy, jolly tune, and you know that that Whitlock sort of smiles and shakes his head and kind of rolls his eyes a little bit, like not wanting to admit, like, okay, that does brighten the atmosphere a little bit. And Laudna is like, this is wonderful. Now just picture the rat dancing to the music. Wouldn't that be funny?
Hey, kiddo, why not not do that? Just enjoy the music.
I'll say at this point. At this
Yeah,
point,
just try doing something that's not that.
do not that.
How about we just converse instead of you trying to use a animal corpse to lighten the mood, which will not really lighten the mood
It just occurred
at
to
all.
Cujo, the DM, that Laudna is trying to pitch this to a druid.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
a rat follower.
Yeah,
Mhm,
a rat cultist. Let's be
Mhm.
real.
mhm.
The cult of Bungie is a thing.
Mm.
Not the game company, everybody. I'll say at this point, Faraday, Cadriel, and Arthea do rejoin the group. Laudna says, well, I think that given that it's a little bit later, I'm going to go and secure myself a room. And if you are interested in pursuing this, consider me a part of the group. If not, I understand it's a little intimidating and a little creepy and whatnot, so no hard feelings if we do separate here.
Well, I think we're just kind of a look to everyone. We're not entirely sure how long we're going to be here. We hadn't intended to really stop at all, but these things seem to change on a daily basis. But I think we'd welcome any assistance, really. Should we expect to be woken up by anything?
Well, their timing sort of changes. Most of the time it's during the day, which is strange because wouldn't you wait until everybody's gone to sleep? But whatever's piloting them, again, just doesn't seem quite all there.
Well, maybe the thing
But
that's piloting them also has to sleep.
this is true. I would say typically around midday is when the next attack may happen. Just when the sun's high in the sky.
Interesting. Yeah, that is not normal. That's not normal, right?
Not in my travels, is it normal? None of this is normal.
Less, I guess more not normal than, well, normal. Okay.
Cito, were you about to say something?
I was thinking about it, but then I just let the moment pass. Cito does one of these, and just does the awkward like.
Right. Well, I'll be around tomorrow. Just let me know what you all think. It's safety in numbers and all. And she stands and gives a little curtsy. And then she puts a couple silver on the bar top and he hands her a key and she uh sort of glides across the room towards the hallway where there are several rooms available. Is there anything else you guys wish to do with your evening?
Yeah, I think we'll.
Yeah, contact Gilmore
I have
and
a.
Pike too.
I'll eat.
I can do Gilmore. I should be able to without burning into anyone else's messaging capabilities. I don't know if anyone has a. Do we have a means to contact Pike?
I have a sending stone.
You have a sending stone. Okay. Yeah, I can do Gilmore then. Uh-oh.
See what Gilmore says first.
Maximus, don't eat the floor.
But floor.
But floor good.
Floor good. Maximus
That's where the
like.
food comes from.
Stop eating
Is
the
that
rug.
the voice you've given Maximus?
That's basically the
Mother,
look
I
he's-
like the floor.
Mother help.
That was the look he just gave me when I kind of picked him up by his heart. By,
Sometimes she
his
makes
heart.
him a rude New Yorker. She's like, "What the
Sometimes
fuck do you
he
think
is.
I'm doing, Sharon?"
Sometimes that's the look that he gives me. So.
It's always Caboose. Always.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Contacting Pike.
Okay.
Sending is 25 words.
Yep.
Cool. I think I only need 10.
Oh.
Okay.
Pike, it's Dermot. We're in trouble. Crossroads. Delilah Briarwood.
But she's gonna show up like immediately.
She's pregnant. This is not the place she needs to be.
9 words.
A couple moments go by. And then you hear, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Where are you? What crossroads? Jesus Christ. Everlight, guide me. Where the fuck? What?"
Is the Crossroads not what this place is called?
Silvercut
it is-
Crossroads.
It's Silvercut Crossroads, but you did
Oh.
not say Silvercut. You just said Crossroads.
Just having the Everlight center to each one, all around the world.
Every intersection of
Yeah.
2 roads on the entire continent.
All right, there's about 320. If I narrow it down, maybe alphabetically, I can sort of figure out. She
Fine
tries to
intervention.
Charlie Day
Um,
from It's Always Sunny this with
I
the red yarn.
I get 3 per day. So
Okay.
I guess I just burn another one. Silvercut Crossroads. Undead attacks. Every day. Silvercut Crossroads. Undead attack every day. At noon. At night. Dreams of dead Sun Tree and burning Whitestone.
You get back. Okay. Let me see if I can convince my husband to leave for a while. Was it 10? Yeah. I'll contact you again if I can make it out there. Baby safety at risk are her last 4 words.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah, I don't burn another one.
Okay.
I expect that answer that she will send someone, but I don't expect her to come herself in
Okay.
her with her condition.
Sounds good. Fuck it, Rhodes. I just saw your message. What the fuck? She sent me a blog thing of how to track your wardrobe. Fucking God damn it.
Amazing.
Ugh. Arthea, you said you were gonna try and reach out to Gilmore as well.
Yes, she will pull out the small red stone pyramid that he gave.
Mm-hmm.
And hope that he was being honest when he said that it will go through. There is no, he's not going to be he won't be ignoring these messages anymore. And she'll send in Silvercut Crossroads, undead attacking every day around noon for 1 week. Each night, townsfolk dream of Dead Sun Tree, Delilah Briarwood. And then after a brief pause and hearing Dermot's message, have contacted Pike.
I believe the stone or the pyramid that you're using, does it have? I don't think it has the same word
Unlimited.
limit.
It's unlimited sendings, but that's 24 words.
Oh, got it. Cool.
So it's unlimited number though, but only to one individual, obviously.
You get back. Well, isn't that delightful? While I'm glad you told Pike, I also worry about her safety. I wonder how she lives. I can. Fuck.
I mean,
I
yes,
fucked
yes,
it
you
up.
can, but okay.
I mean, you can for sure. Yeah,
Arthea's just like,
this is now a triple X rated game.
yeah. She's just like, that's
Switching
He's
awkward.
no.
OnlyFans, y'all.
Jesus Christ. I can follow up.
That's what you
So
want to
say,
call it.
thank you, undead, when destroyed, keep coming back. Seem to
Please
be
put it
stuck
down.
in some sort of cycle. And then,
Fuckery ensues.
excuse me?
Fuckery ensues.
Yeah, you just hear right there. Fuckery ensues, says Cad.
You know what? It's unlimited sendings. Fuck it. It's a conversation. I don't care.
Or it's gonna take a million years to
It's gonna
get through
take
this conversation.
It took too much of my brain power to do that once. Now I have to do it again. It's okay.
DM
it's
ruling.
a conversation.
DM ruling.
DM ruling. You get back from Gilmore that he has heard of some people who should have passed on that for some reason are kept here. They are very few and far in between. He's mainly heard about these through rumors, through stories of people traveling from Isilra, possibly people far up north in Teldore. He's heard some rumors that this is a thing. As for the cause, he is not sure. But he said he will look further into it to see if he can get some more information for you guys.
Well, he says he's going to look into it. He's heard of things, similar things happening, things that seem to not move on. And I guess in some respects we've encountered things like that before too, but other than that, I mean his concern is obviously for Pike. Hopefully she sends perhaps someone else from her order. But he doesn't seem to know what if anything might keep, well, someone like Delilah around, if she is still around.
Signs point it not being a coincidence. Who knows?
Either way, at least he's aware. He's aware. I suppose the real question is, do we stay until someone else can arrive or
Do we know how long that would take?
think so?
Jericho actually speaks up and says, if the concern is getting these people help and making sure that whoever does arrive is prepared, the contact that I had set up to get you guys to the Feywild is already expecting you guys. If you need somebody to linger behind to help in any way possible, at least ward off the undead now that we kind of understand their tactics, until more help comes or until you guys get back, I could do that. This is sort of my thing.
Undead?
Undead, Fey, fiends especially.
Oh.
I mean, what worries me is that their army seems to be growing as they take from the townsfolk. At some point, that balance is going to be too great, and I don't know if town really has a contingency plan.
I don't know that they do either. And maybe it's just drawing it out. But I know, and he's looking at Faraday at this point, I know how much getting to the Feywild means to you and how important this is. And if it means that you can spring your friend, who knows? Maybe if you guys do come back and we haven't received help, maybe that friend can join in that fight.
Let's
You wanted to check on your friend.
let's
See.
let's see what we can see.
Cujo.
Jericho holds your hand at that.
Um, I would like to pull out my scrying chalice,
Okay.
and I am going to try and scry on Faraday's friend that we're going to rescue.
Okay.
I honestly have no idea if it'll work.
Check one thing. You complete the movement to activate the item, and the water ripples for a moment, and your reflection disappears, but it just continues to ripple. Nothing comes back up until eventually your own image comes back up.
Okay.
Damn it, Steve's. Steve's, when I was having difficulty with sending earlier, was like, I feel like Sending Stone should have a friends and family plan. Maybe
Sure.
free after 9 p.m. And then
Should.
that's why I made the decision to have it be a conversation. And he goes, friends and family success.
Yes. I mean, for real. Especially as a sending stone. Like, it's not even you're not even using a spell slot. I will fish out the Oculus for Faraday to use.
Dermot, did you have anything else you wanted to do in the meantime?
Yeah, I would like to try and use that cup again. I want to try and scry on Delilah Briarwood. Again, no idea what's gonna happen. In order to resist being scryed upon, you make a wisdom saving throw, and because I only have second-hand knowledge of the target, she will get a +5.
What is your spell save DC?
What? Oh, does the cup because the cup is a magic item? Does the cup have its own save DC?
I will actually say yes. And given that it's it's not a true scrying stone, I will say it's going to be like 13. Like it's not terribly high by any means.
Okay.
You focus in on the name. Having not seen her personally yourself, but knowing that the name carries weight, you stare into the cup. And you see the ripples once again drift across the top of the water. Your image fades. A moment goes by, and then another, and you feel this uneasiness in your chest until you feel and hear a blood-curdling scream echo into your mind, almost blinding you in sheer pain. You take 12 points of psychic damage. And in that moment, you shudder and the water sloshes completely out of the cup. You did not see anything.
I dropped the cup.
Dermot?
I
And
dropped the cup immediately.
The chalice clatters to the ground and rolls with the slight metal hum across the wood.
What happened?
I paid dearly for a very stupid decision without thinking it through.
What were you
Um,
trying?
To see where Delilah Briarwood was. Or had been.
Huh.
Unfortunately, I didn't see anything, and all I could hear was just a blood-curdling scream inside my head. Cujo, did that scream seem, and I can roll insight for this if you want me to. Did that scream seem to come from a place of anger or agony?
Make me an insight check.
18.
You gather both. That the scream was out of pain, but it was also out of fury.
I relay that to the group. It was just a scream of fury and agony and pain.
If there was something, even if you weren't able to see
I
where there was a what.
I wasn't
Right.
able to see anything. It was it was nothing, and then it was just everywhere inside my head.
I'll slide the wisdom.
I'll fish out the wand of healing.
I'll Thurston will use his pocket square to like pick up the cup off the ground. He doesn't know if he wants to touch it right now.
The cup grows teeth and bites your hand. Just kidding.
It's been
It was a
mimic
mimic
this
this whole
entire time.
It was
Okay, yeah.
really good. It's like the best mimic.
The long game. Definitely the long game.
One of these days, someone will make the mistake of picking me up. And when they do, their finger's gone.
I take a sip of the whiskey, and look at Faraday. Well, what's our plan then?
You get 8 points back.
Oh, good.
It's enough to quell the migraine that was just starting up in your brain. But you do still have just the memory of that scream into your mind, lingering, replaying over and over.
I cast Cure Wounds on myself at 2nd level to get an additional 14 back.
All right.
Dustin, how are you looking?
I have 41 hit points out of a
Ouch.
possible 49. So I'm actually okay,
Okay.
such as it is.
We should probably go somewhere.
We do have rooms.
I got 3 rooms for us.
Hmm.
So, 2 pairs of us can have rooms to themselves. And I just kind of look at Faraday and Jericho.
Thurston's very seriously contemplating just getting his own room. Just to lighten the load.
Thurston's remembering that time we had to all share like 2 rooms and how bad that was.
There
Yeah.
wasn't like a couple involved at the moment.
Yeah.
And so like
It was already really
That was the
awkward.
time that he and Kat had to sleep together.
That was the time where we stuck an elf. We stuck an elf in each room to be
Yeah,
just so
so
that
you
at
could-
least split up
Run
the
watches.
just so that we could have one person who wasn't going to be in the bed the whole time because there was just the one bed.
That's like
Jesus.
college level years of like eating ramen kind of budget
Yeah.
kind of rooming, really.
mhm.
Yup.
Oh yeah, I think the wine there might have been worse than what we had tonight. Actually,
Yeah. I blocked that part out. But yeah. Mhm.
Jericho quickly just says, I can sleep on the floor while
What that
glancing at
knee?
Dermot. It'll get easier, but
See
it's
how
fine.
big the rooms are. If they're anything like Jordan Village, we may need another one anyway.
You guys venture further into the inn. It's a weird sentence. And you can see that the rooms are not quite Joran Village level. They add like a foot to the square footage. So yeah, it's gonna be a little cramped for everybody involved.
I'm gonna just take the 2 silver out of the money right now, and Thurston's gonna get his own room.
Well,
do they have windows?
honestly, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Why not?
Uh, if anything happens during the night, you wouldn't want to be in a room all by yourself.
You feel a skeletal hand on your shoulder. And then the hand goes from being creepy to a pointer finger, and it slowly approaches Dermot's nose
Mm.
and kind of wiggles a little bit.
I mean,
Is Careless Whisper playing
mean,
right
we
now?
have-
too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Pretty.
suppose I stand corrected. There is enough that we can have 4 pairs. Cito, it looks like you and I are rooming together then.
He stuck you with the skeleton.
There's another option.
After this skeleton put its hand on your shoulder,
I mean,
just wants to be
it seemed to
helpful.
me like the skeleton volunteered.
we do have another option.
The
Gilmore
carriage?
gave us another option.
Oh,
Yes, but is that something we want to reveal to this town that we have by mysteriously disappearing all night?
We
Not
have
to-
4 rooms.
Not to mention, if something happens, are we going to be able to hear outside the mansion?
no,
That's
We
my
will not.
concern.
we will not. There's
Or hear
someone
if
would
somebody
have-
tries to message us, if Gilmore tries to contact us.
Maybe
It
all
won't
that.
work if we're on another plane of existence.
I thought
We'll
it
be
could. I thought you could potentially get it.
I think there's potential interference.
Yeah, I thought it was more of a. It may not go through if there's a storm or something, but
Bones perks up and just goes, like, gestures to all of you and does this motion.
For a second, I thought you were gonna have him say something. Like, son of a bitch, you can talk?
Whole time.
And then Bones, like, gestures themselves, points down, and then, like, looks at the door to one of your rooms and just knocks. And then shrugs.
you'll. So you'll keep watch and come get us.
The bones rattle as he nods feverishly.
I mean, it is one thing. We wouldn't have to necessarily have everyone in the larger venue, but we could, if people need privacy or to change or shower or clean up or rest. She's kind of looking at Jericho and Faraday and Cad, who still are looking a little rough.
It's nothing, just a flesh wound.
It doesn't look like just a flesh wound.
No,
Got
just let me
it.
have this. Just for one. Just
I
let me
s-
have this
there-
one.
There's like muscle and bone. It's not okay. Either way, if people want to go, they have the option, but maybe we'll kind of come in and out, take one.
I think that.
Besides, I think I don't know. It seems like asking for trouble to vanish into another dimension temporarily and hope that when you come back out of it, the entire town isn't overrun by that.
Yeah.
That would suck. Really
That's
bad.
kind of my point.
Yeah, like that would be really terrible at the very least.
Inside the mansion, we're safe, but we're also very disconnected.
And in essence, well, in some ways trapped. I mean, until it dumps us out in a horde of undead. So but we could use it to get some extra space while using the rooms that we purchased. Or quite honestly, I don't need to sleep that much anyway. I mean, I can sit on the floor. It's not a big deal.
Jericho pipes up. I don't know what you guys are talking about with the more space thing, but if your worry is being disconnected, maybe we take watch almost as normal, except instead of taking watch in the rooms, again, he's a little confused. Just have somebody whoever's taking watch come out of the
Oh, yeah.
room.
Impossible.
No, I think that would be. I think that's what we were thinking is watches can take place in the rooms, and if anyone wants,
Well, I don't
That's all.
talk about watches and shit. You guys have your system. I don't.
you really
Faraday
don't,
just kind of
honestly.
like pets.
Like we don't have a system that.
I mean, Jericho does make a good point.
I mean,
That would work.
Isn't that what we were
Would?
just talking about doing?
Yeah, I think we're all talking
think-
about the same thing.
In slightly different ways. We're excellent at communication, but we've also been drinking.
That's
so-
true.
Bones
Get 'em
gestures to
on,
all of
dude.
you again and does
Just
this, and then goes. Just reiterates the same thing, but with sign language.
Faraday picks a room and just goes in.
Yeah,
who
Stedo
happens
does.
to
Stedo does
handle-
the same thing.
Can't hear you, Tina.
Oh.
Discord is being.
No! Don't you do it, Discord! Don't you take my Arthea from me!
Is Tina muted?
No.
there.
Yep.
Ah,
Who had the handle, the doorknob?
I reach into the bag of holding.
I was gonna say,
Okay.
Jericho's like,
Wonderful.
but they have doorknobs.
This one's
On the-
special.
Jericho, just shut up and give
But
me a
haven't we been
second.
using this last week or so we've been traveling?
We've been
No,
sleeping in
you've
the
been in the
trailer.
There's
car.
just extra space in the carriage.
Thurston
Mhm.
may have been.
Right. There's just like somebody who's like, why did you all choose to sleep in the carriage where there was a
You're the impression we were
bedroom?
using the thing too.
Yeah.
The mansion
Wha-
too.
Have you
Yeah,
really
the
not been paying
communication.
attention
That's
the
cool.
last week?
That's cool.
Yeah, really, the communication sucks. Let's go set up and see where.
Is there a
Alright, so
closet
we all
in
pile into one of these.
Is there a closet in the room?
Closets. It is the closet
Yeah.
because it is.
That episode of Futurama.
It's like a suit. Like one of the rooms has a very thin closet. It's clear that this was the unfortunate room at the end of the hall that not only had to house a room and a bed and a small dresser and a lamp, it also had to house the innkeep's like cleaning supplies. So you glance at this thin closet, you kind of open it real quick and see just brooms, mops, small buckets, and stuff inside.
I suggest we just put the doorknob on the wall behind the door. So that when you open the door to walk into the room, the doorknob is, hidden behind the door.
Sure.
Okay.
Cad will
I think
put the
that
doorknob
works.
on the wall and open it.
So you guys all pile in to
like a
one
clown
room.
car.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of like a clown car. There's a little bit of a moment of like, hold on, I just gotta pull the door just a little bit more. Hold on. Jericho's like, holds his breath in to minimize his mass. But Cad, it's almost like a magnet. The doorknob attaches to the door. You click it open, and the foyer of your magnificent mansion lies before you as, like a clown car, you all pile out of it.
I'm really surprised we've survived this long.
You see Grecian columns, you see beautiful finery hanging from the walls, you see a nice beautiful rug laid out before you, and you can see several little cloud-shaped people that sort of mill about throughout the space before you as welcome to your magnificent mansion.
Arthea, is the bird orb gonna work in here?
I would say I have no ungodly idea, but let's do it out there just to be on the safe side. That works differently than any other thing I've ever come across. You shouldn't be able to do what you do with that.
Got it. Also,
So it's-
probably not ideal just in case it breaks something?
Just in case it breaks something, I would think you could use it from any place that's represented on it. So, if you're in the Feywild, you could peer to other places. In theory, you could flip it invert it and look at those places, but a strange pocket dimension in the side of a
Material plane.
yeah, that might be a little bit much. So
Alright.
we can take it out there and not
Oh.
chance ripping it.
That's a good call. So I will go back out into this tiny room and sit on one end of the bed, like cross-legged, and wait for Arthea.
As you are leaving, Jericho says to you, "You gonna be okay? You want me to go with you?"
I kind of nudge Jericho out the door and
Yeah.
say it couldn't hurt. I'm sure she could use the company.
In
Oh,
fact,
now I guess I have to come with.
yeah, Arthea seeing him step out will take a step back. Just be like, let me know if you can actually go with her.
Sure, yeah.
Close the door. Give the privacy. Or actually, should we leave it cracked?
No, leave the door closed. The door to the mansion,
Yeah, you want it fully
close
closed?
the mansion door.
Okay, so if
Because
they were,
Faraday and Jericho can come and go as they please.
they can, but if they were, snatched up and eaten by something,
Oh, come on. I wouldn't taste that good. They'd spit me right back out.
See, and
There's a
then he
joke
can open
there.
the door and alert the
This-
rest of us.
okay.
Alright.
The door.
Cujo, I have a question.
I may have an answer.
What would happen? So right now we have Thurston, Dermot, Cito, and Cad are all inside the mansion.
Yes.
Yeah, I went back in.
You went back in? Okay.
Yeah.
And Arthea. What would happen if someone outside the mansion took the doorknob off the wall? Does that end the spell?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh, I want
I mean, you could just do it.
No, the last thing I need is for you all to get lost in some pocket dimension.
14.
With a 14, you're pretty confident that in order to remove the doorknob, it would need to be by the person who set the doorknob. Meaning that whoever activated the item is in control. Excuse me, I don't know what happened there. In control of deactivating the magical item.
Unless the 24-hour period elapses and then the spell ends on
Correct.
its own.
Yeah, yeah. But if you were
Okay.
to end it early, whoever set it would need to not forget it.
Set it. Don't, for the love of God, forget it.
Who set this one?
Set it, unforget it.
Did Cad set this?
Cad.
It's
yeah,
Cad said it.
Cad.
Because I was.
That's right.
My
We just gave
thought
Cad just a
is-
little bit of power here.
I'm just. We always joke
She's
that
got a lot of swords, okay?
this is true. She has a lot of swords. Honestly, like way more than you should be able to keep on your person.
Magic in and of itself.
Yeah, and like I've checked, they're not. It's not like she has some kind of hidden like extra expandable pockets or anything. They're just,
just
normal.
is swords.
Yeah. Like I've seen her pull them out of places that you should not be able to have an entire sword.
I think we need to modify Cad's Hero Forge mini to equip her with as many swords as we physically can.
I
I'm
just-
on it.
There's just, I mean,
But the door to the mansion closes behind Faraday and Jericho. And as you guys sit, he says, Are you okay?
I this really isn't gonna really matter. Could be really doesn't matter. Looking now. By the time I get there, it could have been an hour after I left, it could be a decade. But I just need to see. And I just need to
He just holds his hands out, just offering. And he kind of rubs them lightly. And just says, "It's okay. No matter what. Sometimes it's good, even though we are going to get there relatively soon. Sometimes it's nice having that reassurance. It's going to be okay." He kisses one of your hands before he lets you go. All right, so just look into the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just I'll hold it and I'll activate it. Just see if you can see.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'll hold it between us.
Mhm.
And activate it. Right? I don't remember how it works. I don't remember how it works. Sam doesn't
You look
remember how
in-
it works.
You
Just
look into it.
it.
You look into it and kind of basically like let your mind drift if you're looking on a specific plane. And then last time Faraday used it, well, last time you used it, it kind of just let you move forward.
Right. Okay.
But you have to focus it in on that specific one.
Please. Yeah, that
It should-
specific
it-
plane.
And it should be set to our planar cosmology, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
It should be set to that from last time. I think that's kind of the default. That's factory settings.
Factory settings.
Yeah.
God damn
It's
it,
not
she
like-
modded it too, so it's gonna have some
It's-
glitches
it's
here
not-
and there, but
I mean, it's like there's like the partition and the other drive, but that you have to click on a button to get it there. So right now it's just on,
Jesus.
its regular boot disk.
you sit with the item.
Bird
Jericho
orb.
sits across from you. Bird orb. You kind of let your eyes glaze over. And you feel that pull as you're staring into the gem that resembles the Feywild. You let it draw you in. And your vision almost surges forward into the orb, which then fades from a green crystal to a beautiful blue sky. You can see the mammoth trees that almost like graceful arms and hands are reaching upward with beautiful leaves falling from them. You can see the grass just lightly swaying in a nice spring breeze. The sensations, the visuals, everything is almost magnified. The flowers look brighter than normal. The sky more blue than you've ever seen. Everything is just extra. And you see your vision continue as it follows your will. And this time, instead of going to the large sort of castle-like structure you had seen previously, this time goes towards the fields. A few sparse trees populate this field, and some loose stones from some far bygone structure, overtaken by moss and some mushrooms that have conversations with one another about the upcoming party. You hear these voices, sourceless, whispering of some gathering. And your vision continues to wind through this field until it comes to almost like a courtyard, maybe? Where on one side, you can see some of these long reclaimed stones have made something of a stage with a throne broken. Distinctly Art Nouveau sort of style, but many pieces either missing or broken or eroded away with the endless time the Feywild occupies. And amongst this courtyard in front of this stage are several other larger stones that sort of combine with tents and decorations. You see ribbons being hung and connected from one stone to the next. You see small braziers being lit with beautiful green flame. You can see all sorts of fae sort of collecting here. You see some red caps, you see some larger mushrooms, you see just oh, can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Sorry about that. I bumped my microphone and the cord was like, no. You can see, you spot some humans clothed the same that you saw Faraday clothed, with just a gray smock. And they seem to be assisting with whatever preparations are being made. You see elves, not Eladrin. You distinctly see Singorian elves, sort of intermingling, almost looking down upon the humans and the other creatures that seemingly had been brought into this whatever is happening. And amongst their number, you do spot your friend. And you see that she is trying to lift this bush, this living bush, that every time she reaches, the branches snap and slash at her hands and wrists. And you can see for a moment the thorns of this bush cause nicks and cuts that immediately heal over. You still see her wince in pain with every single snap. And as she continues to fight with this, you see a pixie fly up and sort of monitor her. She says, "Oh, you know the master's not going to be very happy if you don't finish your duties before party time." And Faraday just doesn't even pay her any mind and just focuses in until Faraday finally grasps the trunk of this bush. And it's like all of the branches suddenly stop moving of their own volition. And just as she's about to lift, she struggles. And you see almost like her strength be drained from her as this pixie sort of giggles. And you just see this slight gold energy emanate off of Faraday into this pixie. Shouldn't be too hard for you now. And then you see this pixie like revolve around her head and then fly off. And you see Faraday is doubled over, exhausted. Sorry, I forgot a NPC name. You see, as Faraday struggles, one of these Singorian elves approaches. I believe it is customary for your kind to bow. Faraday growls and looks up and sees an elf with long, dark hair that cascades down to the middle of their back. This is a male. Features of like a late 20s, early 30s, but just based on the eyes alone, this elf has been around for quite a long time. And his eyes glow this very slight muddled green. As Faraday bows, "To whom am I paying respects to, my lord?" And your vision again sort of circles around this elf, and you can see. Actually, maybe a perception check, real quick.
Nat 20.
Fucking very good. Very fucking good. As your vision circles around this elf, you can see behind their ear, starting at the base, going up to the top of their ear, and almost out a little bit, is this little green vine. And he says, "Sildor Vasar of Singorn, you'll do well to remember who your superiors are. Once we begin, there won't be one amongst your material plane that will forget their place." And Sildor steps away. And as he steps away, you follow after him, as you can see, materializing from the vines and the nature around, on the throne, your nemesis, Novus. Appearing with a glass of wine, as always, the unbloomed rosebud-like head with glowing purplish energy coming from inside, and purple amber-like eyes, seated fabulously on their throne. The moment your vision focuses, you see Novus look around. Until he makes eye contact with you. Okay. As you drop the vision and you feel your vision pull back, you see the slightest little grin. And your vision pulls back into the room. Jericho. Holy shit, that's intense.
She immediately gets up and starts pacing.
Okay. Breathe. He stands up and just holds his arms out. Just take a breath. Whatever you're feeling is valid. I'm not saying it's not. But that fear doesn't control you.
When I was watching Faraday,
Mm-hmm.
did it look like she was older? Did she change? Had she changed at all since either the last time I scryed on her or the last time I saw her in person?
She looked like she aged a little bit from the last time you saw her in person,
But not from the last.
but not very
Vision.
much from the last vision at
Okay.
all, really.
Okay. Oh. She'll kind of just. Singorn is there. That's odd.
How was Singorn there? Didn't it just come back?
Unless they left elves there.
Okay. Elves, I know, are kind of close with the Feywild, right?
Singorn is.
Why? I don't. The last I heard of them dealing directly with courts was forever ago.
They're building an army. They know that Singorn has always been one to hide in the Feywild. They're building an army to fight Westron. If they know Westron has those weapons, maybe they decided to pair themselves. Something stronger.
Something that Sildor said.
About the material plane.
If you're talking about a particular city, then he would say the city.
He's talking.
That is a lot scarier.
That party? Did it look like a party?
It looked like they were getting ready for some kind of party.
Some sort of ritual? Just a party.
Make me an insight check. I will say with advantage given your history. Fey creatures, I mean, you know Dermot. You're familiar with his methods
Yep.
and his wants and needs and desires.
What do you mean by that, Joe?
Excuse me. Do not Jesus name me on the internet.
Those
Ignore
are some
that chat.
fighting words.
You know that Fey creatures have parties for any fucking reason,
It's constantly.
but the presence of the Singorian elves being there, it leads you to think that there's something bigger happening with this party.
Yeah.
What specifically? Unfortunately, you can't quite tell.
Plus side, love a distraction.
True.
Downside, I may have shown my hand.
He did look right at us, didn't he? Okay, well, maybe that's a good thing. I mean, think about it. If there's some big thing that he's planning to do with this party, he'll be torn. Continue with his goal of whatever this party's about, or pursue you. He can't do both at the same time. Not that that's any sign of goodness coming out of it, but
Sacrifice the entire material plane for an escape. It's great. And like she's like starting to get just pacing. And it's starting to become less fear and more
Jericho recognizes it and this time doesn't say anything. He just stands to the side and lets you experience what you're experiencing.
didn't help at all. At all.
I mean, maybe not in the way that we had originally planned, but we have more information.
Which makes it more vital we go, but and she just kind of like gestures out the window.
Let me take care of this while you're gone.
Three of us nearly died.
We weren't ready.
There's no way. This town isn't. They've been dealing with this for a week.
Maybe they need an expert to help them get ready. That Whitlock dude, I feel like he's seen some shit. And if he's seen some shit, maybe he's done some shit. And if he's done some shit, maybe he can be of help, getting the town prepared a little bit more than just weathering the storm. We can at least hold out long enough for whatever Pike is going to send our way. We can ensure that nobody ventures alone. I can even try to share some knowledge of undead, although it really only applies to how to kill them and when they keep getting back up. Unless we make it impossible for them to reconstitute. Break apart their skeleton, take a key piece. Take their rib cage. They can't connect without the rib cage, can they?
You'd have to get close enough to do it.
Possible.
Spellcasters, archers.
We got some things to deal with, but they didn't get anybody out of last night or tonight. This is the same night. Holy shit, this is the same night.
Same night. We could at least get them through tomorrow. See what Pike says. What Gilmore says. Maybe Sylvanas can get us closer to your contact faster.
Not a bad plan.
I mean, Sorbellin.
Sorvellin. Did I
Wasn't
say
me that
Sylvanas?
time, but I let
God
it
damn it,
happen.
it was me this time!
Watch over you.
I thought I was right! I took a shot! I was wrong!
You committed. It's fine.
It's fine, I believed myself. It's okay.
Sylvanas just busts through the door.
Yeah.
Father!
Listen, if she was around, we wouldn't have a problem. Or we'd
I
have a
won't
really
lie.
big
I
If
mean,
she
we would have.
shows up-
We actually would have a lot of problems, but different
Oh,
problems.
yes.
Different
Yes, you would have. You absolutely would have.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
You're totally fine.
I need to write down like a post-it note. Put it like right here.
I even got it right today.
I
I was like,
know.
I remember the name.
So
But then when you said Sylvanas, I'm like,
Sylvanas.
yeah. Wait.
I was also looking at my character sheet that says Sylvan, and I was like, yeah, that's it. Like, that's the mnemonic device. That makes sense. Nope, hard wrong.
Not.
Yeah.
she'll just kind of like step forward and just kind of like lean up against it. She gets some
He'll hug you close. We should. But not before we have a couple of shots to help us sleep. Now let's see what kind of bar you have in this insane mansion. Come on. You guys venture back inside the mansion
bird orb.
with the bird orb. It's just so weird.
What's the name?
It is, because that's what's in my notes, and it makes me laugh every single time.
I know. I
Every
know.
single time.
Oh,
It's just like every time Cadriel calls it the.
You got from the planetarium?
Yeah, he's like the bird orb from Planetarium, and it's just like fuck.
It's all wrong all the time.
You just see, you
They're
just see
so
it. This
smart, but they're so dumb.
is why.
I love it.
This is why wizards do what they do in the end. It's because of shit like this.
I like Arthea just like flicks her at this point.
Get back in.
Alright. Sounds good. Cedo and Thurston. What are you two doing?
Good.
Sleeping.
Aw.
Oh.
I am curled up in a corner. I think I found a random plant that was in the mansion and probably knocked it over, and not trying to make a mess, but like curled up into the leaves.
Don't we have like woods and a stream? Because didn't you say this was a mirror of Gilmore's?
Yep. There is
Yeah.
there is like a courtyard that
Yeah.
you could step out into. It does have some vegetation.
See, it was in the courtyard then.
Sleeping in a bush.
Sleeping in
he
a
found
bush.
some peat moss. And he
It's
put
really
it in
comfortable.
together like as a little bed, and he's curled up like a little kitten.
Does
Um,
he know that
Just
there are
as-
bedrooms?
just as you are falling asleep, you hear the familiar rattling of bones as they kind of approach. And then
Bones?
they reach inside their rib cage and fetch Gus Gus
Aw.
and put Gus
Oh.
Gus right next to you.
Oh, hey, buddy. You ready for
Staring
some-
wide-eyed.
I will cast Speak with Animals.
Let me get my tea. Hold on. I needed to get the honey
I
going
know.
now
I know.
before destroying my voice.
Hey, bud, you ready to go to sleep? You ready to go for some sleepies? Huh?
that's what my god wants, I'll go to sleep right now.
All right. Well, I want you to get some rest. You've had a long day.
Sounds good to me. And you just see the Gus Gus just but then eventually like roll over and kind of like snuggle up next to you.
Nice. I also go to sleep, or as Bones is leaving, like I'll keep an eye on Bones.
Bones actually, before he steps away, kind of goes and then just plops down right next to the both of you.
Oh, okay.
He kind of takes his cloak and puts it over you two.
Oh, nice. All three of us are cuddling.
Bones is a couple feet off to the side because
Nope.
cuddling with
Nope.
it. Oh Jesus. Okay, that's a pretty fucked up mental image, but okay. Bones sits a little closer to provide his presence, I guess, while you sleep. He's a
It's
skeleton.
too late.
he
I'm
doesn't have to
already
sleep.
asleep.
That's fair.
That's me on the ground.
Yeah. Oh, so good. And Thurston, what are you up to?
Actually, how far away are we from? And I can remember where I'm putting the emphasis. Is it Kaimal? Kaimal?
Kymel.
Kaimal, thank you.
Kymel is within just a couple days' journey. It's not that far off.
We'll inevitably have to at least pass by / through it to where they're
Yes.
going, correct? Okay.
If you follow the roads, yes.
Yeah. He's actually drafting a letter then. And then after he drafts that letter, he's going to probably head to bed, get some rest, because who the fuck knows what they're going to face tomorrow now that they're undead. But that is his only specific task he wants to do before bed.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm sure you'll Facebook me and let me know what letter you were drafting, but that's okay. I got you. All right. Dermot, where do you find yourself in the magnificent mansion?
This mansion, can we change things about the mansion, or is it just a copy of Gilmore's mansion?
It is a copy of Gilmore's mansion, but you can redesign and reshape it however you will.
Excellent. In the courtyard, on the other side of the courtyard, there is one large oak tree, in fall colors. And at the base of that tree is a pile of red and yellow and orange leaves, and that is where Dermot is sleeping. Because Dermot's extra.
You drift off to sleep as a pleasant autumn-like breeze washes over you. Sounds good. Faraday, where would she and Jericho go? Because let's be honest, someone's gonna make the comment that
Might
Jericho
as
should
well.
go with you. Looking at you, Court.
I'm
Well, I mean-
encouraging it.
He is her shadow.
I would say probably just yeah, probably just back to whatever room she's claimed.
Okay. We'll say that it sort of mimics Dermot's idea in that it is a bedroom, but it still mimics some of the forested area that you are used to. Maybe with more material plane influences than the
Just a pile of leaves.
imprisonment that you were in. But yeah, it's a nice autumn room. It's got the smells of, cinnamon, apple spice just sort of hanging in the air, light but not overpowering. And Jericho's like, okay, now I'm really questioning all the cheap rooms that I got. This is great.
Well, can you save the life of a master sorcerer? It kind of has its perks.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
I suggest it to everybody.
It's a very specific filter on looking at quest boards, but I think maybe that's the route to go.
With the perks, I guess.
I'm sorry. I know that what you are going through is something that no words can heal. And I wish that maybe over time, once this is all done and that asshole is dead and gone, maybe with time it'll get easier for you. I'd like to help in any way I can.
Alrighty. Though I know that splitting up be the best course.
I know. Hey, you don't gotta worry about me. I'm a big dumb idiot. Big dumb idiots don't die to stupid skeletons. That's how it goes in the stories.
She like gestures to the knee wound.
That was from an arrow, which
From a
technically came from a skeleton, but I'm not dead.
Please don't give her.
I have no intention of doing so. And I'll lean forward and kiss you.
Gross.
God damn it,
At
Court.
least they're like behind a closed door. They could be making out in
true.
the courtyard.
You
or
just hear
something,
like
dang.
somewhere off in the
This
distance
is-
gagging.
You guys are making out on top of Cedo, Bones, and Gus Gus. We're like, can you go somewhere else? It's a whole mansion.
Dermot
Don't
says,
take this
"That's
from me,
why I'm
Cedo."
sleeping over here."
yeah. Yeah, don't be a cockbox, Cedo.
Isn't that what Cedo means in Gnomish?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Moving on after maybe the scene fades to black. I don't know. Moving on. Moving on to Cad. Where does Cad find herself in the magnificent mansion?
Cad, first off, goes to the little shrine area dedicated to the Raven Queen, and she's going to do some meditation and try to communicate with her like she has in the past, using the tools she's learned at the temple. Just trying to sort everything out and see. Basically, in a sense, trying to see how she can help or find guidance on how she can help more than she is currently, or if there's any insights that the Raven Queen have on how this is going to come about and how they can prevent it.
Okay. Do me a favor. Make me a religion check. The higher the better.
Isn't that how
7
most checks
and
work?
5 is 12.
Dustin, you missed the rocket ship. With a 12, you feel your consciousness reach out, hoping to find any sort of sign from the Matron of Ravens or her champion. And as you do, you unfortunately don't get any solid communication back. But you do feel that even though you don't have any solid leads or information or even words of affirmation, for a moment, as you were kind of drifting back into consciousness, you felt a comforting presence around you. Like, the closest you can attribute it to would be like almost like you were getting a hug from your mother. And you know that for what it's worth, no matter what, you feel her embrace, even in the darkest times.
Cad will get up after she's been sitting there for a while, and she's gonna take out one of her non-magical weapons.
Oh, I
And
see how it
just-
is.
She kind of just like pat. And like I know there's like in Whitestone there's the blood and all that stuff. So presumably on the little altar shrine, whatever, there's a bowl, and she'll across her hand and let it drop into the bowl.
Okay.
And just kind of like last thing she just says is, need your guidance.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
How many hit points do you willingly lose? What is the intent? I understand that. Well,
She's
let me
kind
understand.
of just she's trying to give an offering, and have 38 hit points. She'll give as many as she can without going unconscious.
Okay. You return to that Zen state of mind, continually holding your hand, which just ebbs and flows your blood into this pool. And you give it freely. Roll me a D100.
$76.
You feel this dizziness wash over you, and you're not sure if it's from how much blood you've lost. But in that moment, almost just before you feel like you're about to pass out, not from unconsciousness, you just exhaustion from the day, you get several images in your mind, almost like a machine gun, but every image vivid in your mind. The image of Delilah dead on the ground. An image of Laudna with a shadow behind her resembling the visage of Delilah Briarwood. And the last image is of a choker that Delilah Briarwood once wore, floating, its central green gem glowing with arcane energy. And as your vision moves closer, you hear this scream from within, and you wake up on the ground. You're at 1 hit point.
He quickly like pulls her hand and wraps it. And she goes to find Faraday.
Okay.
Please don't be naked.
Faraday, you hear a
Uh-huh.
knock at the door.
Are you gonna roll a percentile to see if you're naked or
I'm actually going to. I'm gonna. Court high or low?
God. Wow.
No, you have to, in order to have the desired outcome, you have to roll under your level.
On a D100? Alright.
I don't know what your desired outcome is.
I don't know what my desired outcome is either.
I mean, don't you?
I kinda do.
Nudity.
Oh,
Oh
God.
God.
Oh,
no.
shit.
Sam's low rolls.
Can't roll that as a fucking cleric
Nope.
when I need him. But to determine if Verde answers the door in a bed sheet. Fucking.
You get up with the bed sheet, and Jericho's like, ugh, and grabs a blanket and covers himself completely. I'm not here if she asks.
I think she's smarter than that.
Lies.
What mental are you said?
Mm.
Having just started to kind of trance.
I'm guessing Cad looks very much like she really only has 1 hit point.
What the fuck happened to you?
Gross. Gross.
Like, she'll, like, continue rapping, so it's, like, way more.
I was at the shrine.
She'll, like, step out and close the door behind her.
I gave her what she needed to help me. And I will explain the visions that I saw. I don't know that Delilah is alive. It's the necklace and Laudna.
What? She's being. What do you think?
Perhaps Delilah tricked her. It seemed that Delilah Briarwood's body is dead at the very least, but I don't know how. Would I be able to deduce something about how warlocks work from that? I'm not sure that Cad would be able to know that.
Make me an Arcana check. I'm gonna say with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Cujo, could I make... Okay. This is also Sam kind of talking, so I don't know how much Faraday would know about, like, phylacteries? Like, would that be part of, like, the Blood Hunter thing, like, with an Arcana check?
It's kind of what I'm thinking. I'd say, given that phylacteries are specifically tied with liches,
Yeah.
which
Like...
is something that is tied with, like, when you order your Blood Hunter textbook.
I mean, like, I know enough about Vecna to know, like, Homeboy was a lich. So, like, kind of.
I'd say go ahead and make your Arcana check, and
Okay.
because this is involving undead, go ahead and roll advantage.
I mean...
I rolled an 18 and a 3. My Raven Queen dice rolled the 18.
Well,
So
that's
4.
significantly
Cat
better.
doesn't know. Yeah, she doesn't know.
22.
22. With the images that and the conversation that you're having with Cad, kind of makes sense.
Shit. Okay. So, if we think that this necklace... And we haven't seen Laudna, like, with this necklace. Like, okay.
Laudna doesn't wear any fancy
She doesn't
jewelry.
wear...
at all.
No, this is, like, roaming the countryside Laudna. By herself,
Yes.
kind of. Like, okay.
Yes.
Some people who decide that they want to disobey put their souls in, or parts of themselves in items. Typically it's be anything. Who knows with this woman?
I think it might be the necklace I saw. Tight to the throat. A green gem was glowing. Vision of Delilah dead, but
The necklace.
shadow looming over Laudna.
Okay. So that's either really good for us or really bad. Sounds like it's essence of Delilah, maybe, that has risen or come awake. Some sort of awakened thing, maybe within this necklace. Part of a necklace that could be part of a treasure trove in a hollowed out mountain filled with treasure that no one can get to.
Would we be able to destroy it like you did the amulet?
Maybe Pike might be able to. I don't know. The amulet was kind of a shot in the dark. Maybe. Out in the deepest depths of the ocean. Sea. But
It seems to me that Delilah might not be alive in body after all. I just don't know.
oh, that
You
would
know magic isn't my thing.
that would explain how few undead are here. She could raise an entire city crime. According to stories, anyway, what happened in Whitestone. If she was here now, she would have dug that entire graveyard up, and without thinking twice. If it's just a part of her coming back, then that might explain it. Which is both a good thing and a bad thing for us.
Is that. My head is. I don't know what any of that means.
You should get some rest. You'll talk about it.
Need to go find out at the end.
To drink a healing potion or go to sleep.
I can do that later.
No, you need to do that now. She's probably... Well, knowing Arthea, she's probably learning a spell instead of resting. But
Well, I can see you were doing things instead of resting as well.
I don't need your sass. Go to bed.
Rolled a
You
14 for perception. Do I spot any hickeys?
You're fucking mean. You're fucking mean. You're fucking mean.
Wow.
You spot any what?
Hickeys.
You do know what? You know what? We're not going to have this conversation on the internet.
What are you
Damn.
rolling?
High or low?
Ah, fuck. Hi.
There are no hickeys.
Hey.
Where she can see.
See.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Classy. Thank you very much.
this.
Only facing the end of the material plane on multiple fronts.
Either way.
You need a full rest. You need a full night's rest. Something comes up. You need to rest. Arthea will be here in the morning. I'll get up a little bit and I will find her. I'll tell her.
I always tell her first. It just. this means. I just know that we have to do everything we can. And it was worth what I did.
Sure. Appreciates your sacrifice. But I'm pretty sure she won't want to see you before you're due to raise her door.
I guess I'll let you get back to
Prancing? Yes.
whatever you were doing before you wrapped that sheet around yourself.
You are so lucky that you look like hell warmed over. Go to bed,
I will kiss you
Gadriel.
on the cheek and then jet off. Still gonna go look for Arthea.
That's it. Go back into...
All right. Well, Arthea, what do you do with your night?
Is there any form of sort of library in this? I can't remember.
Shocker.
What?
Color shock
unlike-
face.
Fucking nerd.
Unlike certain members of this party, she didn't spend our last visit snooping around the entire
Oh, yeah.
facility, including into locked rooms.
True. It's true.
Yeah.
There is a library. It is filled with books. However, they are filled with books that you have already read. Because
That's just
otherwise, that would be fucking broken to have a library of exactly what
library.
you need at any. What is Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, where's our
Requirements.
Giles?
No.
Wait,
that's-
is Giles our
Giles.
Gilmore?
Ah.
Where's
I think
is
it's
Gilmore our
wonderful.
Giles? Arthea's Willow.
I don't.
Wait, if Arthea's Willow, does that mean we get Dark Willow at some point? Or Dark Arthea?
She's a
Dark
wizard.
Arthea?
Shit. I mean, she was talking about having extra bodies around the country. Like,
Yeah.
we're going in that direction.
It's not.
It's
saying-
not messed up.
I'm not saying I have extra bodies, just some people do.
Cat
Some
will just
people do anything
Don't
that's
worry.
cool.
We believe you.
Cat probably
She will
stumbling
have-
at this
yeah.
point will go directly to the library.
Yeah, I
To
mean,
find
she knows where
Arthea.
she is.
All right. You step inside and can see Arthea surrounded by books, seated
Yeah.
at a nearby
She just
table.
looks comfortable. She's not actually reading at this point. She is likely, probably actually jotting down all the information from today. And also would have been taking some time, depending on how much has passed, before she has to trance, to
Okay.
study the stone that she got from Gilmore, and she hasn't had a chance to take a look at it yet.
Sounds good.
Interrupting? Probably interrupting.
No,
Definitely
What?
interrupting.
no, yeah. What the hell did you do?
Something worth it.
Okay.
And I'll
can you sit
explain to
down?
Arthea in great detail
Yeah.
what I did because I know she would want to know details.
Yes, lots. She asks lots of questions.
And then I
then
will
also-
explain the visions that the Raven Queen gave me in detail.
In the meantime, she's literally like has gotten up and is guiding you physically over to sit down.
It's fine. I'm
It's not fine.
It's-
It's not fine. You look like you're going to fall over and die.
No, I put a bandage on.
That's not how. That just stops you from going further.
Arthea, with your passive perception, that bandage already needs to be replaced.
Oh my god. Okay. We're gonna at least fix this a little bit. See her give the wand of healing like a shake. You got it?
like a thermometer.
Yeah, like got anything left in you, buddy? And I have 2 more charges left. Not bad. 7 points of healing.
Much
Deal.
better that she
Snail.
had.
You need to change that because that's gross.
Are
Actually, no,
are
it's
any
just
of those like
precedent.
cloud spirit
No,
things around?
prestidigitation, just it off. No.
As you look for a cloud person, one just sort of floats over. This featureless, just like you're looking at somebody through a fog. This silhouette just presents itself in front of you.
I'll also ask for some like food and some tea, just to like.
Yes. Something with bread, maybe.
They
Uh,
leave, and in a moment they come back with all of the food and all of the drink.
All of the food. Just yes, and I'll just usher her over to a couch because
but Arthea,
yes.
the important thing, it, the necklace, and Faraday thinks that perhaps Delilah. I don't know. She saved herself in the necklace. Don't really know how she would fit in there. But
I mean, didn't we have we had another
it's true.
same thing.
And it seems that she is affecting Laudna in some way.
Calling her, perhaps? I mean, if she did,
I
if
don't know what
she,
it means with a shadow looming over her in that manner. I mean, I know
I
what it
mean,
felt like when a shadow loomed over me, but I sort of don't think it's the same thing.
well, assu- think of it this way. She sent herself to a necklace, okay? Uh, let's just assume that that's correct, right? Well, necklace is pretty useless if it's just sitting in a box somewhere under a mountain or at the bottom of a river.
Clearly not that useless if she's still able to do what's going on here.
But this
And
is,
why at noon? Does
this,
Laudna perhaps have the necklace, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, she could. It could just be that if she is tied in some fashion, um, I mean, like we said, I mean, if Laudna needs to sleep, or heck, if, I don't know, Delilah needs to sleep, maybe she's just up, same way everyone else is.
Either way,
But
I don't know that it's a body that we'll be contending with.
no, I think the problem is that she doesn't. She wants a body. She wants a person. I mean, it's a lot easier to influence things if you have a physical form. Hers is gone. She's going to need another one. Possibly several.
I don't know.
Do you know where this necklace? Do you see where it was?
No. I didn't see where the necklace was, right? I didn't notice the surroundings. I just saw it like kind of floating.
Correct. You just saw it by itself, just floating in front of you.
I just I just saw it as if it were floating in front of me, and there
Could,
I didn't notice any surroundings.
could you, if you were to see it though, you would know it, is right?
Of course.
Well, I guess there has to be there has to be ways to. Would I know if there's ways that you can use magic to find a particular object?
Um,
Or if there's magic that can be used in that fashion, either similar to how we scry on a person or a location? Is there
I would say that you do know of one spell that would do such a thing. However, its range is rather limited. You are aware of locate object. Um, Now, in terms of something like scrying, where it's as long as it's on the same plane of existence, I would rule. I would rule that if you use a high enough spell slot to cast, locate object, feasibly you could. But that kind of ability and that kind of power, I mean,
Yeah.
to just automatically know where something is without having seen it or anything like that, it would be quite substantial, the amount of power to get that sort of information.
It's pretty common knowledge that there are ways to kind of ping off of, you know, I know I'm looking for a coker with a green blah blah blah, and if it's close by or sitting in someone's pocket, locate object would be the thing to use. It
Yes.
just is really limited in scope in terms of what it can reveal and everything. Well,
Yeah.
okay. I don't have that anyway, so it's not really my thing. But I I suppose I mean there are ways to use magic to I guess to locate things, but they have to be close and you have to know what you're looking for. Um in this case, well, we have a general sense of where this thing is, and if it's tied to Laudna in some fashion, she did say, she's trying to understand what's happening here as well. I mean, she was drawn here for a purpose, but I don't know if she knows what that purpose is.
I suppose if Delilah's looking for a body, she's
Or a
trying
pair
to
of
use her
hands.
as well.
Or a pair of hands. I mean, if her necklace got put somewhere, maybe she's just an amorphous thing. And
Amorphous or not, she's still a cunt. But
well, I mean, you don't have to have a body to do that.
I suppose you're right. But perhaps it would be a good idea if we did decide to invite Laudna to come along with us. At least we could keep an eye on what might be going on there.
And keep an eye out also. Don't forget, she might be, well, it seems like this Delilah was very adept at using people as tools
Indeed.
and I think we need to be careful not to assume there's
That's
more
not-
going on than there is. But we should
It's
keep an eye on her just in case.
it's not what I meant, but I see your point.
She wants to help. She seems like she's trying. And if you are right, if she has a tie to this woman and if she has a tie to this necklace, then we certainly don't want the two things coming together.
I mean, if she's willing, keeping them as far apart like the Feywild might perhaps be a good idea.
I mean, she seemed up for a journey, but
Oh,
for now, you need to sleep.
mind if is there a couch in here?
Sleep here.
Yeah. Well, actually, I ask you guys, is there a couch in there? Because this
There is
whole
now.
place is yours to play with.
Oh yeah, a big, squishy, comfortable reading couch.
There
Yeah,
you
no,
go.
this is one of those like chair and a halves. Yeah, no, you can sleep in here if you feel comfortable. I'm not.
Cat kind of just like makes her way to the chair, like dropping pieces of her armor and like a line, and just kind of curls up on the chair.
After she goes to sleep, Arthea's gonna go and pick up all the armor and put it into a neat pile. And then make sure it's all nice and organized and then put a blanket over her.
Adorable.
She's not gonna say anything either. And then she'll just
Alright.
kind of take a seat and keep an eye on Cad until she herself needs to trance as well. Just in case she knows that Cad sometimes has pretty frightening dreams, and given what has been happening in this area, She wants to make sure that she's aware if she sees her start to twitch out.
She can tell Gladius to keep an eye on her too when she
Mm-hmm.
trances.
Well, when
Of
she,
course.
yeah, when she goes to trance,
All right. With that being said, one by one, each of you, after a particularly frightening and difficult day, finds a much needed bit of rest. Everybody gets their long rest.
I have a question.
Yes, I have an answer.
Do I have any dreams? Jojo.
High or low?
Hi.
You do. You find yourself wandering the woods. Familiar. These aren't alien or foreign to you. The forests of your home. You walk through and feel the grass at your feet. And you feel Fiona in your arms as you play merrily as you walk. You are drawn somewhere. Something's calling out to you. Something irresistible. The revelry itself. You find yourself moving a little quicker. Just around the bend, you see a gathering of large, old stones, reclaimed by nature from some long-lost civilization. And amongst those stones, you see your friends. Fae, pixie, fairy, elf, all manner of creature that you once celebrated with, as they prepare for one of the greatest feasts and parties of all. Make me a wisdom check. Not a saving throw, just a check.
11.
As you approach these stones and feel the excitement build, you can see someone in front of you amongst the Fae. Another satyr. Features similar to yours, but older. You feel a sense of recognition. And your father says, "The coronation is coming. Novus will be king." And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Shit.
Okay.
Well, fuck.
Cuckoo.
Fuck.
Cuckoo.
we're gonna crash that
I
shit
love
so
this
hard.
part so much.
Fuck.
No, it's fine.
It's gonna be totally fine.
We're gonna party crash.
Yeah. No way that'll go wrong.
No, not at all.
Especially not with the Singorn elves there. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna
I
be
mean, they
great.
hate us. You know
International or
what?
interplanar incidents, it'll be fine.
You know what? We'll send a message to Allura before we leave this plane apologizing in advance. And then it's not like they already hate us.
We still have the mirror. We could just talk to her directly.
I'm not sure that
Sure.
works across planes. We haven't tried that.
Didn't it work in the Happy Fun Ball?
Uh,
Yes, but there was a bit of an issue with the time difference.
I know. I'm just saying it
Yes.
works.
I'm just saying, you know what? she probably doesn't need to know the details. In fact, it's better if she does not know the details. We just, send a message being like, sorry, we're probably going to cause an incident. And then at least she has, get a heads up.
Well, for everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you so much. You are loved. You're appreciated. Keep your eyes and ears peeled as we start to announce some plans for our extra life stream
Yes.
in November, because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited
Yes.
for that.
It's
It's
going to
so
be
much
crazy.
fun.
So know that you all are loved. You are appreciated. Be nice to each other. And we will see you next week as we figure out which direction our party is going to go. Anyway, I love you guys. Mwah. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.